Salud! Happy Sunday, guys. It's the weekly comic wrap up, the final one before Christmas. Yes, we're in Christmas spirit, sort of, right? Somewhat. At least my guess is. I will tell you, he's in the Christmas spirit. But speaking the Christmas spirit, guys, I didn't announce it on Instagram, I didn't announce it here on YouTube, but it's Christmas. I'm going to give away something. Yeah, I'm going to give away something for everybody. Christmas spirit. Now, hang tight. I will tell you guys in advance. Canada sucks right now when it comes to shipping. Canada Post is on strike. They're now back. I still haven't gotten mail since they came back. Is what it is. But we will ship out once everything settles. So in the new year, boom! You can win a signed copy of Gun Honey. That's right. Adam Hughes himself with the ah! You see it? Yeah, there you go. So Boob's signature Christmas. What more do you want, guys? What more do you want? I'll give that away tonight. No FOC. No FOC. There's relatively not much going on over on FOC. So Lefteros has left FOC off the table tonight, but have no fear. We have the biggest market report ever for the year. That's right, 2024. We're ending with a bang. Now, speaking with a bang, we have a guest who's waiting backstage, looking all pretty for you guys. And let me tell you, I wanted to bring the Christmas spirit. I really did. Unfortunately, only the Grinch was available. So, guys, CHIA, what's going on?
Salud.
Salud, bro. Salud. What's going on, man?
What's up, guys? What's up, chat? How you guys doing?
Love it.
And
dude, I'm doing
Merry
good.
pre-Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
I guess
this is
2 days before Christmas Eve. Listen, I've been in the Christmas spirit for the whole month. I'm the guy who, as soon as November 5th hits, I turn to 92.5 or is it 92.9? 92.9 and listen to the Christmas songs on repeat on the radio. Have no problem at work. It's Spotify or Apple Music on the Christmas playlists.
So you're one of those guys that waits for Mariah Carey to defrost, right? Like on Fortnite?
I'm literally the guy who's happy with the meme of the Momoa being Mariah Carey, and you're just random. Have you guys seen that meme there? Where Jason Momoa is basically Mariah Carey's song, and Henry Cavill is the whole human race kind of thing. I'm gladly getting tackled by Mariah Carey. I love that song. I have no problem.
I'm so glad you don't drive me around anywhere because that would be horrific.
Oh, listen, I mean, I respect other people, so I won't force it on them, well, except for my mom, probably, but, and maybe my nephew, but not like my brother or somebody or other, normal adults, but everybody else, they're getting bullied into listening to Christmas. You're going to like it, basically.
No,
it's
you're
Christmas
not.
And you're going to like it. That's basically the motto over here.
I introduced you as the Grinch of Christmas, but it's the complete opposite.
It's the complete opposite. Yes.
Full Christmas spirits, which is good.
I want to be surprised.
Dude.
I like giving gifts as a surprise.
I need you simply because one thing we do in this house with the kids is, I don't know if you guys know this new trend with the elf on the shelf. It's the fucking dumbest thing in the world. But they really love this. They live for this. Every morning, it's like...
They go crazy, yeah?
Yeah, it's like, what did they do today? What did they do today? Shout out to my wife for being so creative and putting together some wild things because, man, every day you got to think of something new. It's madness.
And it can't be the same as the year before.
No, absolutely.
It has to be totally different. So it's I wonder if this is just like a creation just to drive the parents crazy.
It really is. It really is. Sometimes my wife, I could see her, we're looking at each other, kind of like, what do we do tonight, right? Like when it comes to this elf on the shelf. And now
is there ever fights? Is there ever stress in the house over what you're gonna do?
No, honestly, my wife takes full control. Thank God, because look, I get creative in different ways, right? I involve the Avenger toys, I involve the wrestling toys, stuff like that, right? So
yeah. Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Elf on the shelf is in the sharpshooter or whatever.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good stuff. Yeah, no, that's how you make it. That's how you make it roll. Yeah, no, that's the one. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but it's brutal. I don't know how this came about. This elf on the shelf thing. Thank God my wife handles that because she's phenomenal at it. Phenomenal. I have no interest.
That's like one of the things that women have plenty of great things, but when it comes to that kind of creativity with the children, they have the patience that I think sometimes eludes us.
Oh, dude, like I come down. My wife created like this entire slide from the top of the blinds as the window. I made out of toilet paper, and the elf on the shelf is like just at the end of it. You have the other guy at the top. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, all my other friends, wives do the same thing. Like I remember when I would babysit my nephews and I would want to punish them. I always say this story. I'm like, okay, no more iPad for the next 5 hours. 10 minutes later, I'm like, just take it. Leave me alone. Just take it. I have zero patience, zero thing. I'm terrible at discipline too. So I mean, but you know what? He turned out to be a great kid. So both of them actually. So
yeah, I'm gonna get to the comments and say hi to everybody, but one just popped up. This I need to know about because apparently there's a Snoop Dogg on the shelf. Yo.
So basically, he's just stoned because he's too stoned to do anything really entertaining.
That I could get creative with. That I could.
Yeah.
They're gonna be waking up to parties.
It's one of the things that is I find remarkable because I'm my old age and I've lived long enough to know this stuff and everything. Snoop Dogg went from like this dangerous cat where your parents wouldn't want to be anywhere near, like you're listening to Snoop Dogg, like what is going on, to like hanging out with Martha Stewart and being every old lady's like hang out like, oh, he's a cool one,
No, I need to get one.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a great marketing genius.
That's gonna be my elf on the shelf for my wife next year. Like I'm gonna
take
her trip out.
Just randomly in the bedroom, just randomly there. Yeah,
that's hilarious. But anyways, okay, look, let's get into the show. I know the show's run relatively long as of late, especially with FOC. But tonight, no FOC.
Gino just doesn't stop talking.
That guy, yeah,
that guy,
yeah. But to keep, some length into this show tonight, we are going with the biggest market report ever done on this channel in 2024. Baker shakers were flowing all week. He was hitting me up, so shout out to Michael Baker. But not only Michael Baker, let's shout out the chat because Love for Comics is here. Yes, had a phenomenal
What's up, Love
weekend.
for Comics?
Yo, I watched Sonic. Sonic was insanely good. We'll talk about that a little later. If you guys played Sonic Adventures 2, the video game, back on GameCube, back on Dreamcast, whatever it was you played it on, you loved that movie.
If you didn't go with the family, I was gonna ask to tag along you with the kids.
I did. Really? You still could have tagged along.
Oh, I'm not gonna come crash a family event.
Well,
I'm a degenerate, but I'm not that much of a degenerate.
I would have just gotten a third kid ticket. That's all it would have been, bro. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But Derek's in the house. What's going on, Derek? Yeah, Kenny versus. Did they actually do a farewell tour between Kenny versus Spenny? Because I would have totally wanted to see that. Yeah, dude, you remember that shit? They were whack, completely whack.
Yes.
Yeah, I would almost put them on the same level of Canadian Jackass.
Yes,
that's pretty much what they were.
Yeah.
Medi's in the house. What's going on, Medi?
Medi?
I agree with you. It is freezing, yet we are still in t-shirts, so that means the heat is flowing in this house.
The heat's in the house, yeah.
The hydro bills are just. Hey, Canada Post is on strike.
Can't get the bill. Can't get the invoice.
Exactly. Michael Baker, yes, the Baker shakers are definitely
big, baby.
Tonight. It's gonna be a good one. A lot of them, dude. Michael Baker, you need to probably hit up Covrprice or something, a different platform.
A section.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because, dude, seriously, he sends me books the same day I see them on the Covrprice daily shakers, and I'm like, man.
He has set up some awesome alerts. I think this guy has the alerts coming in from Google like crazy.
They're flowing. Yeah, man. We got Recon Comics in the house. What's going on, Recon, man? I appreciate you guys being here. Of course, last Sunday before Christmas. So let's end it with a bang. We're gonna have a good time. Do a little bit of a little giveaway to say thank you guys for being here.
Another giveaway when I'm on the show and I can't win. That's a weasel move, bro. That's a weasel move.
Fantastic. I don't want you to win anything ever.
I know. That's the listen. I got an SAQ gift card from Ranger Design this week. I'm happy. It's gonna go a long way.
That's very nice. SAQ is our local alcohol store, sir.
Yeah.
So why are you drinking water tonight, bro?
Well, no, I'm drinking vodka and water. So because I'm old and I can't take advantage of it.
There you go. But Derek sees in the house. What's going on, Derek? We spoke Lefteros. Unfortunately, no FOC picks this week. It is relatively light, dead. There's not much going on FOC this week, guys. So let's enjoy this little break for our wallets and save some money
And my brother gets a break from all the hard work that he does.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
That dude don't stop.
So
for real.
Stop. Always grinding, never sleeps. But so does our wallets. Our wallets get a break as well this week because, dude, Boxing Day, we ain't going out for smart TVs. No, we want those comic book deals, guys. I'm curious to see what everyone's.
Well, there's a few places. I mean, we know that we got our local Montreal warehouse sale that's coming up from one of our friends, Harry. So if anybody's in Montreal, hit it up on Facebook. You'll see great deals.
Yep, exactly. The Montreal warehouse sale is taking place on Boxing Day, right?
Yeah, on Boxing Day, yeah.
9 a.m., guys. So
you go there and then you go to shopping with the family, I guess.
Exactly. You got Chucky Valdez in the house. What's going on, Chucky, bro? Appreciate you being here. Who else we got here? I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. I see we have Pacino and myself. Also, I think you as well are out of the NFL playoffs.
I was like dominant the whole year, and then I got clipped last week. It's so annoying and embarrassing, honestly.
So what screwed me over is I had Purdy over Goff, and Purdy played Thursday night while I was live with the Shakers, and I never even swapped them out. That's exactly what happened. So I got screwed.
For me, it was that one game where Tua decided to throw all the picks and everything, and it got me that 1 week.
Is what it is. But Cliff on Comics is in the house. What's going on, Cliff? Thank you so much for hopping on last week. Great conversation, guys. If you missed it, about the state of new comics, 2024 in general, all of that fun stuff. There was myself, there was TJ, there was Pacino,
Cliff. Love for Comics.
Love for Comics, who was
guys, it was
amazing.
Great. It was great. The conversation was, it was some of the best YouTube commentary on comics I've seen in a long while, because it was like the Eagle was put at the door, was checked at the door, and it was just 4 or 5 dudes talking about why they love it and not trying to grind something and get something out of it. So congrats, guys. You did a great job.
Thank you. But that's exactly what this platform is, guys. Conversations are beyond healthy. So let's keep them going. We got synthetic panels. What's going on, man? Appreciate you being here. Got Canadian Survivalist as well, who's here in the chat tonight. So thank you so much for coming to hang out. I hope I don't miss anybody. Yes, Cliff, you're damn right. Titty cover being given away tonight, signed by Adam Hughes, baby. So there you go. Boobies.
One of the best titty cover drawers in the business.
Yo, that's the best Christmas gift you could ever ask for. So I don't care what anybody says about that. JSS Brooklyn in the house. What's going on, man? Appreciate you being here. My brother Alex is here as well, man. Thank you so much for coming to swing by. Fellow Canadian comic Ozzy's in the house. What's going on, Ozzy, man? Appreciate you guys. Ozzy, I know usually you do your Whatnot sales on Tuesdays, but given it's Christmas Eve, I believe you're switching it to Thursday, right? So let the people know. But guys,
another Boxing Day Boxing Day banger for sure from Ozzy.
Best Whatnot shows, best books on Whatnot. I don't care what anybody says. Definitely go check out Comic Ozzy, because you're gonna flip when you see what he's got available there. Comic Book Corner, Armin's in the house, man. I know Armin's gonna be at that sale for sure on Boxing Day, right?
What's up, Armin? How you doing?
There you go. Armin's in the house. So thank you, Armin, for being here. One of the best pressers, cleaners in the game. So yeah, check out Comic Book Corner. Great unboxing videos as well. Got Michael Schwartz in the house. One of the best indie books written this year, in my opinion, was Armored. I think it went completely slept on. Michael, I'm not saying that because you're here in the chat. I've said it many times. It was phenomenal, dude. Phenomenal. I loved it. I want more. I want more from the Armored world. You know what I mean? I want to see more from this title.
It was one of the best buying experiences I had this year, was meeting Michael. Yeah. And then finding out about Armored. I mean, it was such an interesting thing. I was so happy to be introduced to him. I was so happy that he got along with you and he's joined the community as much as he can, because he's a busy guy. And he has such interesting stories as well, from his like networking and from his inside baseball stuff. He's just been a joy, to be honest with you.
Speaking Michael Schwartz and Christmas spirit, my kids are home now for 2 weeks, bro. There's no school, no nothing. I'm curious. We're gonna see starting tonight, for the next 2 weeks, how many times they make me watch No Malone, not the movie Home Alone.
No Malone.
Schwartz's No Malone is on Netflix, guys. If you haven't watched it, I could tell you my kids have made me watch it at least 1 trillion times. I know that movie inside out. But yeah, thank you, Michael Schwartz. You got Steph's Comics in the house. Steph, another fellow Montrealer. Dude, always crushing it. If you're not following him on Instagram, please do so. his fucking pack breaks on cards is just
So
out of
good.
this world. Out of this world. My love is in the house. My life is here. My wife, guys, in the house. The one who takes care of all the elf on a shelf and many more other things when it comes to this house. So thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Because we got the Sonic cups from the movie. There you go. Sonic cups.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a good
Kids
one.
are gonna freak. They're gonna see the Sonic cups. They're gonna freak. Bison Comics is in the house. This is who I was highlighting before because I didn't know about this. I need to pick one up. I absolutely need to pick one up now. What? FYI, Martha Stewart is a felon. That's fake news. Fake news.
He got me there. Yeah, yeah.
How dare you talk about my Martha that way? Yo, Trek Wars, Trev, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you being here. Don't worry about it. The party's just getting started, man. Get yourself a drink, sit back, and let's get into some of the fun stuff. My brother Gabe, guys, Gabe, the OG, Lords of the Long Box. I love this man. It's ridiculous how close I have gotten to him in such a short period of time. Love him. Please, guys, go follow him on Instagram. He's always dropping some crazy stuff. I'm probably preaching to, many who are already following him, but if you're not already, man, I love seeing his posts. He was posting the Jack Kirby book recently, and I haven't read that. Did you?
No.
I need to pick this up. Now that I saw it, I'm like, shit, I really want to look into that. There's another one on Stan Lee. Lots of great stuff. But Gabe, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Kenneth is in the house. What's going on, Kenneth, man? Nothing but love. Appreciate you being here. Yes, thank you, Gabe, for the props on the conversation. You got Flow Wolf Comics in the house. What's going on, man? Appreciate you being here. You got UniX. Let's see what this guy has to say today. Yes, we got a lot of stuff talking market report, man. I'm telling you, lots and lots of crazy books, especially that cover price themselves are going to be off. We don't have the top 10 this week. We don't have the shakers this week. We're not going to have it for 2 weeks. So it's a good time to stack. And let's just see what's been selling, man, on the secondary market. Yes, the Wizard Magazine podcast. Thank you so much for bringing that up on Michael Schwartz. Did you see the Wizard Magazine stuff that they have, the homages that are coming out?
No, but basically, Michael has a podcast dedicated to the Wizard Magazine issues. That's a pretty cool podcast. Because I used to love reading Wizard Magazine. It was like crack. You know what I mean? Like I would crack into that even before I would read my comics.
Yeah.
Happy to do it, Michael. Happy to do it.
Yeah. So there you go. You paid his artist with that sale. And if I'm not mistaken, it was a X-Men book.
A few X-Men books.
There you go. Infamous Jeb in the house. All right, guys, let's get into it. I know we normally kick it off with the FOC stuff, but like I said, tonight we're going straight into market report. We have a lot to talk about on the market side. So, Chia, you ready?
Always ready.
Let's go.
Born ready.
All right, guys, market report. Like I said, lots of books, biggest list for the year so far that we're going to be going through tonight. Now, lots of cool stuff. As I said, Covrprice is going to be away this week. So a lot of these are going to be just Covrprice daily shakers and Baker shakers for this week. But as you know, always checking out House of Stein, CBSI, Key Collector, Go Collect, eBay, and all that fun stuff. All of you who have Instagrams, I'm checking what you guys are posting as well. So that's always a good time. But let's get into it because, as I said, lots and lots of stuff. So, Chia, first book, sir. Spidey, Super Stories, issue number 30. I love this cover first because Kang is taking over the White House. This is hilarious. CGC 9/8. There's only 4 of these on the census. Sale that took place was $1,500 US. I just love this cover, dude. This is hilarious.
Well, first of all, it's a beautiful cover. I think it's actually gorgeous. I'm a sucker for Kang. I mean, listen, all his old books with Kang I think are cool. I mean, who rocks those high boots and still looks like a menace? Only Kang could pull that off. Let's be honest. But he's such an interesting design character. This book too must be a really difficult to get in a 9/8. Let's be honest. I mean, Electric Company books. A lot of this was read by kids. Let's be straight up back then. So I think.
Love's asking, does Lando know what the Electric Company is?
Oh,
I
actually do. It was basically a trippy kind of version of Sesame Street. Basically, that's what it was, kind of thing. It was pretty for like the older teen set. No, I mean, I I think this is a cool look. I mean, would it be the first book I would search for $1,500?
No.
No. But if I'm a like Spidey completionist or like a Sal Buscema fan, you know what I mean? Or a Kang completionist, I'd be all over this. This would be one of the books I'd love to get into my collection. 100%.
Yeah, I think it's neat. It's
yeah.
a sick cover. There's only 4 on the census and a 9.8, so I totally understand the premium on this. Nice little 35 center. I love that Kang captures the White House. He's just standing there on top of the White House like a boss.
Yeah. He's just standing there with his hand, like his arms stretched in the air.
Yeah, it's just
slightly disproportionate for the White House, by the way. He's a little bit too big for that where it is. But yes, the Thanos cop, the Electric Company books, the Spidey ones had all the bunch of the weird stories in them. You know.
Yep.
Thanos copter, the Kang. It was basically Marvel rivals before Marvel Rivals existed. You know what I mean?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
They were inundating kids with the villains beforehand.
Yeah, and you remember when that Spidey Super Stories book popped off with the Thanos copter because we saw it in Loki. I think it was
of course, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting. But yeah, man, it's a very nice book considering, and I agree, man. I think it's a neat book, great cover. Only 4 on the census and a 9.8, so seeing it at 1,500 kind of makes sense. But anyways, it doesn't end there, guys, with Spidey Super Stories, because although this is a top sale for this book in a 9.8, we have another one that was a 9.8 top sale as well, and it's issue number 11. I love this with Doc Ock. They're in the middle of a ring. In the middle of a ring, man.
Yeah,
I like wrestling. You like wrestling.
Love
this
it.
Is just top notch. 3 9.8s on the census for this one, and this one sold lower than the Kang one at only $1,050.
And I was about to say maybe a more easy cover to get into the 9.8, but there's only 3 instead of 4, so it's no bearing on that. I think it's just what somebody was willing to pay at that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know the interesting thing about these books and about a lot of times the market report in general, I find, you know, a lot of times we say, oh, I wouldn't pay that, but there's always a book that one of us as collectors would overpay for because it's our niche.
Yeah.
So I fully understand somebody who loves Spidey Super Stories or Spidey completionists in general paying these premiums because they're so rare. You're going to pay this. So if Spidey's your jam, or you know, vintage 70s kind of memorabilia as your jam in comics, it makes sense you would spend this. You know, I think a lot of times us as guests we're like, no, I wouldn't, because you know we were thinking about what our wallets would spend. You know, but put ourselves in a collector like that mindset, yeah, that $1,000 makes complete sense.
Listen,
go for it.
If I had the money to spend on such a thing, I'd be happy to buy this because look, knowing there's only 3 on the census and a 9.8, I'm a fan of both characters. I'm a fan of wrestling. This speaks to me, of course. Don't get me wrong. I like the Kang on the White House one, but at $1,050 if I had cash to burn, I think this is cool to have in your collection. With only 3 9.8s on the census, dude, it is a relatively older book, man. It is harder to come across in a high.
You would go for this one over the Kang?
At this price range, yeah, I think this one speaks to me more simply because, like I said, I like both characters. Doc Ock Spidey to me is more important than Spidey and Kang, right? It's an older book than issue 30. There you go. So I like it.
I think I would go with the Kang because I prefer the cover there a little bit better. And Michael's I described every Spawn collector pretty well on that one. You know, but at the end of the day, do you, man? If you have the money and you're not going, you know, broke or something, and Spawn's your jam. I'm not saying Michael in general. I'm saying anybody. This thing, I think, what's developed in the last 15, 20 years, and all types of things, because social media is that gatekeeping. No one should tell anybody else how to do. This thing is fun, right? This at the end of the day, comics are supposed to be fun.
Yeah, who gives a
they
shit?
Come around, you know. So yeah. Go spend a gajillion dollars on a Spawn 308 that you thought there was only 20 copies of, and then someone releases them on the back door, and you want to go crazy and shoot yourself. Go, do you, man? Go ahead.
You're talking about the NetherRealm, man.
You know that book that we thought there was only 20 copies, and Todd came out. The poor guy said, "Guys, they assured me," you know, and then they got clipped.
Yeah, this brings up the graded versus ungraded discussion. Exactly. You know what? We look. It's funny you brought this up, JSS Brooklyn, because I had said for tonight, given it's Christmas, we're in the holiday spirit, so to speak. Do I want to bring on very hot topics? You guys let me know, because this is actually a discussion I wanted to have: the graded versus ungraded. Another one being also incentives. I was talking with CHIA before the show. Let me know in the chat if you guys want. At the end of the show, we could bring up the graded versus ungraded discussion when it comes to comics and so forth. CHIA,
So they want us to fight basically on the holidays.
I'm all for it, bro.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, listen. I'm a contrarian by nature, so let's go.
So let's do it. Let's stir the pot a little bit. But all right. Daredevil 171. I love this cover. It's a newsstand edition.
Incredible.
Frank Miller, Klaus Janson, CGC 98, $699 US was a cover price daily shaker. If I'm not mistaken, this was also a Baker shaker, because like I said, himself and cover price, they're dropping Michael Baker hits me up in DMs, but then immediately Cover Price's website gets updated. So it's wild. It's wild. But this cover is just greatness. I love this cover. It's funny because every time I think, Kingpin, you would circle back to the animated show from the 90s. That's really where Kingpin made a huge impact on me as a kid, right? But in comics, I felt like Daredevil and Kingpin always had it way more. And then you take it to the Netflix series, way more. You know what I mean? But the introduction for Kingpin myself was actually in the Spider-Man cartoon. That was the first time I ever heard of Kingpin.
So for me, Kingpin is synonymous with Daredevil, because I was introduced to Kingpin more in the Miller run and in the later runs on Daredevil, where he shifted to becoming primarily a Daredevil villain. I know he started off in Spider-Man. I know, those are his books. You know what I mean? The key books there. But for me, it's always been Kingpin is Daredevil's guy, and it matches. And this book is absolutely gorgeous.
Sick.
And I'll go on record, and I've said it before. I'm not sure if I said it on your show. I think pound for pound, Daredevil's had more impactful and daring and courageous runs than Spidey and Batman. I put them all, the three of them, as kind of think about all the incredible storylines in Daredevil. Yeah. The creators are allowed to take more risks with both those characters, with this character over the other two. And again, the other two are the two big dogs, neck and neck, who the biggest one in pop culture is, But I think Daredevil, since Miller, even the I can't remember her last name, Nosetti, that run there with JR was also really good. There's been always the Bendis runs were great. The Brewbreaker run was great. The Stool great.
I like the Bendis. I like the John Romita. Definitely Frank Miller. You can't go wrong with Miller. It's probably the
standard bearer. Yeah. And this thing, I would be willing to pay this thing. This is a gorgeous cover. Getting a newsstand like this, all black cover in a 9.8.
Hell yeah!
Holy cow!
I agree with you. I think this is gorgeous. When I saw this come my way, I was like, wow, this is sick. So shout out to Michael Baker. I love this. Shout out to Cover Price on the Daily Shaker. Beautiful book. Frank Miller in his prime is untouchable. Although I know people feel a certain way about Miller as of late.
He's aged, guys.
Exactly.
Like an athlete, there's a certain time where they're not as good anymore. And I still think it's interesting that he does stuff, like he tries stuff. Like he's always been. He's more of a little bit like the Peach Momoko thing. They're more artists than they are comic artists. Yeah. And I want one side note: these books, these era books, the 80s era books and all that stuff. You find a lot of high grade 9.6s, 9.4s, that 9, because those collectors back then, right? They would bag and board them, they would take care of them. But the 9.8s, I remember my brother saying it, the 9.8, the jump in value is so vast because they're so rare. The paper quality is not that great. They're not as forgiving, So that 9.8 is a premium in this era. So this makes complete sense. Like all the X-Men books, the 9.4, 9.6, and then there's a massive jump to a 9.8. Massive.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Alex, I agree with you. Frank Miller definitely lost his step. I say it all the time. I prefer to remember the OG Frank Miller, and whatever's happening now, I almost feel bad. It's like, who was it? Look, I'm going to take it to wrestling. Undertaker had come out saying, I don't want to be one of those wrestlers where I become a meme, right? Where I become the laughing joke. Once I don't have it anymore, I'm going to take a step back and retire. that's where I think Miller's at. I think, Miller's putting out work. I love the fact he's still passionate about it. We can never take that away from him. Let's appreciate him while he's here, but it is rough to watch type thing.
I agree, but remember when we all made fun, and myself included, the Cassidy cover on X-Force?
Yes.
And we're like, oh, and we're like, like, what's wrong? How would you publish this?
Yeah.
Sometimes there are bigger reasons that they allow things to be published than mere you are privy to know. And it's, not our business to know. And to be honest with you, I'm glad they allowed Cassidy's cover to be published.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit upset that we all reacted the way we did because we were assholes, and I hope he didn't read them. I'm sorry. Yeah. I hope he didn't read our comments because nobody wants to hear that stuff at the end. Yeah. Anyways, that's not to be a downer. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. But Anthony bringing up a great comparison right here. DX versus Brothers of Destruction at Crown Jewel was one of the most brutal matches I had ever seen. I think there's a scene where you see Shawn Michaels in the corner with Triple H, and he's like, "We're too old for this." Like they were throwing in the towel. Exactly. Yo, Gabe, don't become Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. That's what we don't want. But regardless, this book, beautiful cover, classic Miller. You can't go wrong. Newsstand CGC 98. $699 US. If I had the coin, I'm a buyer for this
one. 100%.
Yeah.
Done.
But anyways, let's move on because we have Batman Adventures Mad Love. This here is actually the third printing, not the first, not the second. Third printing. Harley Quinn origin out of DC continuity. Continuity. My God, I almost botched that completely. CGC 98. $299 US. Cover price daily shaker. Love this book. Love this cover. Dude, it's sick. I love the cover.
I love all this old Batman Adventures type art. It's all incredible. Harley Quinn, I mean, even this traditional costume, I sometimes harken like, you know what? This had some kind of like, a fun flair to it. And I believe Anthony got one of these signed from Paul Dini, like a 9.4 or something. Anthony DeBone is like a fellow part-time.
He's saying it. I always wanted to get this book. I like this cover more than the first printing. Second printing, I think.
Yeah.
Same cover. Yeah, it is. It's just there's like a slight color change in the background.
Yes.
Even where the Batman Adventures is, like behind, it's like more black tones type thing. Like it's very dark. So I imagine coming across 9/8 might be a little more hard.
But I think it's a square bound, so there might be a little bit more easy for forgiving. I think so. There is that.
For me, dude, it's Bruce Timm stuff in general. I love Bruce Timm. Dude, my childhood.
You know, it really is.
Yeah,
it was. I know everybody loves X-Men 97, well, X-Men 92, whatever. It was a far superior show. Yeah. Batman Adventures, the Batman cartoon was the greatest cartoon when we were growing up. Spider-Man was good, but when you add the unique animation style of Batman Adventures, I think it takes it out. It's a better cartoon, and it's slightly more adult. I think it's a better entry. Now X-Men 97 is the best one I think we've gotten, in when it came back, but Batman Adventures I think was the standard bearer.
Yeah, Gabe saying this is the best Harley story ever. Nothing else touches it. Yeah, dude, I think just anything from this time, even Joker stuff, like clearly there's better Joker stories, but like just in general, Batman Adventures for myself, it stood above majority of things. Even afterwards, like as a kid growing up, reading a lot of the Batman books, I always flocked to these, right? I really enjoyed these ones. And obviously with the cartoon, it went hand in hand, right? It makes sense as to why I favored this one.
Yeah.
But anyway, CGC 98 of this Batman Adventures, Mad Love, third printing, $299 US. Makes sense. Beautiful book.
Easy buy. This is an easy buy.
Killing Joke, best Joker story. I'll put it up there. But I don't know.
I really liked what Snyder and Capullo did with Joker.
The Death in the Family.
Yeah.
Yeah, was dude, it's insane. I remember, dude, when that came out,
it was really good.
When that came out, I was still in my band, and my drummer, who had no interest in comics whatsoever, picked up the trade paperback of Death in the Family, and he's like, "Bro, this is amazing." He loved it so much. And yeah, man, I don't know if he's
Incredible.
still collecting. I don't think we've ever had that discussion since. Mind you, most of our discussions are just nonsense. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask him if he's still reading. But
No, incredible,
yeah,
incredible story.
it was amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's on the spot. It's hard to pick, man, because there's so many good things. What's up, Marcel's in the house, man? Appreciate you being here. Pacino saying best cartoon is Reboots. Yes, dude, that was amazing.
Oh, it was okay.
Not the
It's
best, but
aged poorly. Come on.
it was
You
good. It
guys
was
were
good.
lamenting how much you love the bad guy's name is Virus. Oh, how crazy.
Hold on. We're gonna get into some more cartoons from back in the day. Year One is amazing.
Yes.
Dude, Death in the Family. I know it's not entirely a Joker story, but that was amazing too, man.
It felt a little bit as if it was just trying to get Robin out of the way,
Yeah,
right?
I get
It wasn't really like it was Joker was like the vehicle for that.
yeah,
But I find what they've done with that story since the Red Hood's been back a lot more interesting now.
yeah.
You know,
I agree with Gabe saying Killing Joke set the pace
Yeah.
for Joker stories going forward.
it definitely elevated Joker to a much more modern,
Menacing villain, bro. He was
yeah.
just
It was
zero
not. It
fault.
was, yeah,
Yeah.
Definitely right. He's definitely right.
But anyways, let's keep it going because up next, yes, buoys, Street Fighter Prime issue number 0. This is actually a pre-release, guys. Ikpot Udon online cover X1. Raw near mint for this beautiful cover, by the way. 149 US dollars. We've said it a few times, man. Like, there is a market for such covers, but I'm loving the fact that Street Fighter's getting this kind of treatment because they are exaggerating on some of the assets when it comes to these characters, and I'm all for it. Let's go.
Listen, so basically, they decided to make Chun-Li Jessica Rabbit, is what they try to do here. Basically,
more than
it's Jessica Rabbit. This is Jessica Rabbit. It's just with a white dress instead of a red dress. That's what it is.
But does Jessica really have the badonkadonks like that? I don't know, man.
I think so. No, I mean, from what I remember as I think so.
Yeah. Gabe, if anyone says 3 Jokers, I'm deleting the internet. Yeah.
I was gonna say 3 Jokers didn't live up to the hype, but it wasn't a terrible book by no means.
Yeah.
And yes, Alex, I would buy this. And by the way, it is a really nice cover. At the end of it's a cool cover.
Yeah.
It's
beautiful. I think the cover is gorgeous. Again, this is a pre-sale at 149 US dollars. The book's not even out yet.
Yeah, it's madness. But yeah, I would definitely buy this book. I would not pay $150 for this.
Yeah.
But I would definitely because I'm not a big enough Street Fighter fan for this.
I'm a huge Street Fighter fan, but I agree again because looking at this, would you have thought this was Chun-Li? No, you know what I mean. You were
the Princess Leia thing going. It gets
the hair is the giveaway.
The hair's the giveaway, and I'm just wondering who would fight her. Like, would Ryu fight this chick when he sees her? No chance. He'd be like, "Listen, I can't." He'd be too distracted. There's no way he's winning this fight. It's impossible.
It's impossible. Yeah, no, don't lie, bro. You'd be smashing your buttons and then hopefully smashing something else. Is what?
Oh yeah, 100%.
It is. Yeah, Recon. It is the breast cover. I couldn't agree more.
It's the breast cover, yes.
But yeah, very interesting to see this one at a raw near mint selling at $149 pre-sale. Yeah. Hold on, I see Uni saying just bought one at Udon for $20. There you go. That's the way, guys. Check the websites before you go to the secondary market. Secondary market, $149. Hey, you know what I mean?
It's big difference. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, let's move on from this book because we also have Venom War. It's Jeff #1. Now, of course, the Jeff stuff is booming, man. It's taking off. Jeff is easily loved, and it makes perfect sense. If you played Marvel Rivals, well, you got to see how menacing he could be. He's pretty intense as a character, but comic-wise, he's also fun to read, man. And I hope people are actually picking these up to read because Venom War is Jeff #1. This is the Ricky Yahawa 1-in-25 ratio. CGC 98 selling at $129. This is a cover price daily shaker, and it was expected because West Coast Avengers popped. Then you have Jeff. It's Jeff's first run popping. Now with Venom War, it's Jeff that had just, this is a recent release, guys. This isn't something that's
a month.
old or a back issue, a year old, 2 year old, 2 years old. This is fresh. Nobody was keeping their eye on Jeff stuff. There was very few people. Here we are now, CGC 98 of this book, 129 US, which is not bad for a ratio.
It's a 125. I mean, a lot of times by this, the 125 has tanked.
Yeah.
It's everybody who slept on It's Jeff. I mean, that's the, you know what I mean? The nobody was paying attention to this until Marvel Rivals. Now, look, we were talking this morning, right? How I regret not picking up a West Coast Avengers earlier, just because the fact that it's popped off like crazy, and everybody was sleeping on Jeff. Yeah. Well, not even. I mean, it would be like you could have got it for like $10-15.
Yeah.
In the 6 months ago, like when the dip happened, and because it was at a high a while ago, right? And then it dropped. Remember, same as the Deadpool 11, is it, or is it 10? It's sitting on the throne.
10.
It's 10, right?
Yeah.
That book was selling for crazy money, and then it dropped as well, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm sure that one hasn't seen as much of a jump yet.
Yeah.
Like they've been distracted by It's Jeff #1 and It's Jeff Venom War #1 has gotten a lot of things. It's that phenomenon you talked about, that once a character hits, they either go to the first appearance, but sometimes they actually just go to the first series.
Yeah.
They ditched the.
But this isn't even the first series. This is
it's not
totally different. This is just Venom War. Now, Venom War is Jeff. Jog my memory, because I remember it being scheduled to come out in November. Did that ever hit the shelves?
Yeah, that's it. This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. And there was the two other covers, that really cool cover A, and the one I think when Inyak Lee did with Gwenpool on it. No.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, those they're all three covers are great. Like the two open orders, and this one is great. The incredible It's Jeff cover from his first run, where that's an homage to Jaws. That's the cover for It's Jeff. If you're looking for a It's Jeff cover, that's the one for me. That's one of the best.
Yeah.
Yes, I do think that it will drop a little bit, Derek. But as we're going to talk about later on in the show, he's coming to the MCU.
Apparently, and we're going to talk about that, guys, because look.
A producer said this, not a. Insider.
I know. We're gonna get into that conversation, but for myself, it's kind of one of those things where, like, we see the book popping now simply because of Marvel Rivals, and it's crazy how that drove people bananas. I don't think it's really the children that are flocking to paying this big money. It's a lot of us, the comic, geeks, the speculators, etc. Those looking for quick flips. But who is picking it up at the premium? I have no idea.
I'll tell you who.
With FOMO.
No, it's not even people with FOMO. It's the same people who cosplay as Harley Quinn, who collect pop figures, who love Grogu. There's a market for that cute manga type animal thing that goes on, like Hello Kitty. Like, I mean, look how many that there's a whole dépanneurs chain that imports Japanese type products.
Hold on. Just so people know what a dépanneur is in Quebec, that is a corner
convenience store. Yeah, convenience store. Yeah, so like there's like a whole convenience, like a whole pop-up in malls now, like a Japanese style convenience store popped up. And this fits that kind of like that skew. This character fits in that demographic. I think there's a real demographic that this is hitting, and that's why you see them try to push Alligator Loki. That's why you see Crypto Dog in the next one. That's why they did DC Pets, the cartoon.
There was the Pet Avengers.
The Pet Avengers. Yeah. There is a market for that weird, cute type of manga type animal thing. Would be a great t-shirt. Yes, Hello Kitty for it is Hello Kitty for Marvel, and I think that's the market that it'll go to. I think that there definitely is a market for this.
And somebody like myself, though, the character does resonate because, like, playing Marvel Rivals, seeing how badass Jeff could be, the guy's a beast.
Yeah,
he's a beast. OP.
My nephew saw it. He's like, Jeff is funny. His friends play with Jeff.
But we'll see if they hold, man. CGC 98 of this one right here for the 1 in 25, $129 US. But let's keep it going because look at this sick cover, man, by Del Auto for Winter Soldier, issue #1. CGC 96, $500 US was the cover price. Daily Shaker. I love this. I love SNMC for coming in and hanging out, man. Appreciate you. Yes, I agree with the FOMO book of the month, but Winter Soldier #1, Del Auto 1 in 50 ratio. This is back in 2012. Now you got to go back 12 years here, guys. People were not picking up 50 copies of Winter Soldier at
No
this
one.
time.
Print runs were low in 2012.
Yeah, exactly. Now
Really low.
there weren't many copies on the census. I remember checking this morning. I'm like, oh, okay, there's not that many. It was, I think, well over 10 or something like that, but it's still not a lot. I didn't care to put the census for a 9.6. The 9.8s as well were up there. I think it was about 30. But regardless, it is one of those books that is just hard to come across. Ratios were not heavily ordered. Comics in general were not heavily ordered, especially for one called Winter Soldier #1. 2012, 1 in 50 ratio. I understand the price here. It's a gorgeous cover. I think it's sick. I love this cover. Del Auto stuff could feel redundant at times.
Not this one. No, this.
That's what I'm saying. Is this stands out, man? I really like this.
This is one of his more. This is a beauty. I love the Winter Soldier. I'm not a Winter Soldier completionist, so I don't know if I'd go after this. But this seems to be one of the more important Winter Soldier keys if you were going after it, right? Like if you want to be, if you want to go after Winter Soldier books, you got the Captain America run, and you got this. I remember hating the idea that they're bringing back Bucky with a passion. Like I remember before I read the books, when I read like online, I'm like, oh, the mysteries in the Brubaker run is going to be that he's going to bring back Bucky. And I'm like, no. And then I read it and I'm like, this is the greatest Captain America story of all time. Thank God Brubaker did this. Yeah. It'll never be replaced. He's become one of my favorite characters. So and his movies appearance.
Did you like Bucky replacing Captain America? Remember?
I had no problem with it. No problem. Listen, when I was a kid and they replaced Spidey with Ben Reilly, hated it. Never liked that one. I was fuming. Then they did the same thing with Superman. Yeah. And did the same thing with Batman afterwards, right? And they did that whole first run of replacement things. I guess I was too young to remember the Iron Man being replaced by Rhodes, Yeah. But how quickly they replaced them and put them back afterwards. They did also Thor afterwards with Masterson, and they did a few other ones. And you realize, these are comics. They're like 100-year-old characters. You got to do some interesting stuff to go. So by the time it happened for when they replaced him with Cap, the story was so good. It's like, yeah, they're gonna do it for a while, and it came out of Civil War. So that was when it was like really hitting on a stride. Like it was going one after the other, the stories. Yeah. So what I was like, this makes complete sense, and let them see where they're going, because I knew Cap would be back eventually, right? I knew I was a veteran of comic reading back then. So it never got me twisted and upset. Like, so replacement characters don't really get me upset that much in comics, because it's always going to come back to the OG, the circle eventually, Yeah. The only ones that didn't want to come back, to be honest with you, were Barry Allen, who sucks compared to Wally West. And I'll be adamant that every Flash iteration we've seen in media is more like Wally West, and they just call Barry Allen, than actually being Barry Allen, because Barry Allen is a boring ass.
I don't think character. You're wrong. I don't think you're wrong.
They always make him hyperkinetic like a young Wally West was.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Wally West, because Jeff Johns wanted to bring it back, but I did like Hal more than I like Kyle, even though I never read enough Kyle. But just because I liked, I think Hal's Mask more. I think that's what it was as a kid, and I remember from Super Friends.
Yeah. But regardless, Winter Soldier #1, Del Auto 1 in 50 ratio. Beautiful cover. I think Del Auto killed it with this cover. It's stunning. CGC 9.6 selling at $500 US. Like I said, 2012, not many people were ordering these amounts of books as we're seeing here. 50 copies of Winter Soldier 1. I don't think many shops were ordering 50 copies, and kind of what Infamous Jeb said, 2012, before the exclusive boom. And now you get titles like TMNT issue #1 that has how many exclusives? Like 40 exclusives tied to it.
And all the ratios are everywhere.
Yeah, the ratio talk is something I really want to have with you guys and the exclusives, but I'll save that for the new year. I would love to have somebody that has, a foot in the game with exclusives, and then, people like ourselves that don't. So I think that would be a great conversation to have, especially with the state of comics right now. But we'll save that for another day. Tonight, we will talk the Slab versus Raw books, because you guys asked for it, so why not? But anyway, speaking Captain America, guys, Steve Rogers issue #1. This is the Steve Epting variant. Hail Hydra, baby. Yes, this is the issue where that happens, where he comes out saying Hail Hydra. Little bit of speculation behind this one. CGC 98 selling at 125 US dollars was a cover price daily shaker. And I do want to add that, yes, I am one who would like to see this on the big screen come Secret Wars.
Who wouldn't?
Exactly, because look, Secret Empire was great. I really enjoyed Secret Empire. The read was great. I loved Kobik. I loved the idea of it. I know as an American Captain America lover, some people felt a little bit different regarding that. I believe there were protests at one point regarding the Hail Hydra stuff. I remember the internet blowing up a little bit when that had happened. But besides the point, now seeing Robert Downey Jr. casted as Doctor Doom, I do think Secret Wars, we do see some, familiar faces from different universes with different stories. I mean, look what happened with Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness, right? There was another Doctor Strange who did what he did and he didn't make it, right? So I do think we can see things as such. So speculation wise, I guess I understand this, but regardless, the 9/8 US sale is pretty impressive. This cover is not one I've seen often in the wild. So
I've never seen it before.
Yeah, there you go.
First of all, I would definitely pay for this. I think this idea that they did with Cap was an incredible idea. To be honest with you, I think it was genius by Nick Spencer. I think when you followed his story where he was a secret agent for like a year or two, and he was sabotaging the heroes in Civil War II and everything, purposely making them fight, I think was absolutely brilliant. I think people outside of comics reacted to hearing that Captain America is a Hydra agent, yada yada yada, and they feigned kind of like, oh whoa, I can't believe the assault on the American patriotism, instead of actually reading the story, which in the end is a reaffirmation, because Cap returns, of the idealism of Captain America. And I think the whole thing was a brilliant story, well executed, and it, was an interesting take on Cap. And that moment where he says "Hail Hydra" is up there with the moment in Thunderbolts 1 when Zemo takes off his mask and you reveal that they're the Masters of Evil.
Yes.
And comics are supposed to surprise people, and this surprised people.
Oh, and dude, it shook people, man. Him saying the fucking Hail Hydra at the last panel was rough.
I think people blended in with the fact that Sam Wilson was the other Cap, right? And they felt, they're trying to, devalue Steve to elevate Sam, instead of watching the story play out.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people are too quick to not let. You got to watch the story play out and then see what that. And again, comics, guys, they're 100. This character's 100 years old. You have to do radical stuff sometimes to keep him fresh.
Yeah.
And I think this was. I hope. Look, in about 2 years' time, 2027, 28, we're not going to get any more shenanigans, multiversal stuff.
Nope.
So it's over then, right? Maybe you might have a couple of cartoon parallel universes, or Marvel may throw, like, the multiverse will exist, but somehow they'll make it where there won't be crossing over or incursions, and we'll be following the story of our linear characters again. Okay.
Exactly.
So they got to give us all this stuff that they can now, whether it's Maestro, whether it's Red Widow instead of Black Widow, whether it's Ronin Hawkeye, whether it's Black Winter Thor, whether it's Hydra Cap and a Doom variant, the Tony Stark, any kind of stuff, or King Thanos or good guy Thanos or whatever, they got to do it now. It's got to be now. So I'm hoping that they do it in the movies, and we get the Hail Hydra or a Hydra skull on his chest kind of thing, and everybody freaks out, and it's a black and red suit. And yes, let's do it. Come on.
Yeah, dude. It would send people,
or green and yellow, I guess.
Yeah. It would send people spiraling. Exactly what SNMC is saying. We comic collectors are all run on emotion. That's exactly what keeps us hooked in. Cali Comics is in the house. What's going on, Cali, brother? Appreciate you swinging by, man. Happy holidays to you, my friend. If you're not here by the tail end of the show, but I appreciate you swinging by. Bucky over Sam Wilson. I will agree with you all day. That's right. I could say that all day, baby. But Captain America, Steve Rogers, issue number 1. This awesome Steve Epting variant, CGC 98, selling at 125 US dollars, was a cover price daily shaker. But let's get into Baker Shaker territory. This is my jam. Gears of War, issue number 1, based on the Xbox video game. Now, CGC 98 selling at 370 US dollars. Very, very impressive. This cover is tough, man. It is all black, as you guys can see. So those 9/8s, yeah, they're out there, but they're not always easy. And this is a book that I must add to my collection. Love it. I loved Gears of War. I still go back to play it with the boys every now and then over on Xbox. I think when it comes to exclusives, this is what really Xbox had going for them. And there was Halo, right? Gears of War, as a gamer, I loved it playing, from when it first dropped till now. The book itself, it's getting up there in price, man. There was talks of Netflix stuff, etc., coming as well. We'll see. We'll see. But Chia, what do you think?
I think this is an incredible cover.
Yeah.
And if I was a video game collector, I would definitely be all over it. And I think it's actually a fairly good price if you're for 9/8 in the all black. I mean,
it's up there on price, bro. It really climbed in the last couple months. Like,
it's a black cover, so it's unforgiving. But I do think that Wildstorm produced nice quality books. Like, the production was not shoddy, so it makes sense. Like, I think I have Ratchet and Clank, and it's also very well produced. Very, it's a nicely it's good paper and all that stuff. But maybe season 2, or did we in Secret Level? Well, did he get one? I don't think so.
No, not in Secret Level. I would love to see it in Secret Level, but besides Secret Level, I just want to see it as a thing. I think Gears of War could be real fun, as a Netflix show, etc. But besides that, Secret Level, we will talk about a little later on, because that got announced for a season 2. So I'm really excited about that. But Gears of War 1, CGC 98, 370 US dollars. I'm happy to see this rising. I hope for my wallet it'll come down a little bit at some point.
I hope it gets to Amazon, to be honest.
Yeah, I really want one. But Amazing Spider-Man 607. Check this, bro. Newsstand Premium. Baker Shaker. Covered by J. Scott Campbell. One of his best, in my opinion. CGC 98. 2,000 US dollars. Now we are in some heavy coin right here.
This is nuts. Wait, you prefer this one over the other two?
You're talking about what, 608?
The 601, 608, 607, right?
Yeah,
those are the three, right?
Look, the one of him kissing, I don't give a shit about that one. This one just speaks to me more. I like it. I even got, the one where Spidey's swinging out the window with MJ. I think it's 607, 608. Is it that one?
I think, isn't that 601?
I think so. Yeah, you're probably right. But regardless,
that's the first one, right? Of the Trinity, right?
Yes, exactly. Now, for myself, I love this cover. The Newsstand Premium, holy cow! But you are getting into the later years where newsstands are very tough to come across, guys. We talk about it often, even on Cover Price. Every time we get to a book that surpasses the years 2000, you get like that 1% chance of like coming across a newsstand, and a CGC 98 at $2,000. I understand the scarcity behind that. It's there.
Campbell covers are up. Our collectors are up there with the Spawn collectors. They're loopy.
Yeah.
Like, this is like a holy grail to them. Like, at the end of the day, this is it, right? This is one of the holy one of the holy grails.
Yeah.
So
newsstand.
I would not pay this. There's no way in. I mean, but I'm not a newsstand fiend. Like, it doesn't freak me out. Like, I mean, it's cool to get, especially these late ones, right? But I mean, I don't trip out for the newsstand. Like, I don't go crazy for it. Like, as a thing, I would love to have if I get like a newsstand, I mean, if it's a high grade one, I'd flip it for a direct for my collection.
Yeah, but the newsstand, hold on, the newsstand you almost never see, guys. Like, this is what I'm getting at. So in Canadian conversion, you're looking at $2,800 approximately. Canadian for a direct copy in a CGC 98 is $358. So just to give you an idea of what the price difference is in Canadian funds, dude, you're looking at $2,500 difference right here in just the fact that newsstand premium. This is one of the biggest newsstand premiums I've seen, bro. Like, when you compare direct to newsstand, This is quite significant.
I
2,000.
bet you it's the same for all three of the books, though. Like all three of the Campbell 601, 607, 608. I bet you they're all crazy premiums. It's that era of newsstand that's crazy. I told you the story where I found What If Deadpool, Venom Possessed Deadpool, the Scotty Young cover.
Yes, and you
I
found
got
it
a
in
newsstand.
newsstand.
I got it for. I was in shock that it was newsstand. Like, I mean, it was high grade. I'm still in shock that I got that. Like, I mean, you know,
I remember.
And you don't. The funny thing is, they're so rare. You go check it up on Covrprice, and they have no information about the book existing sometimes.
In a newsstand.
Yeah, in the newsstand. The newsstand version has never been found because it's like a random newsstand up in Quebec City that they found it. You know what I mean? That they still kept getting books up there, you know, because nobody else would. So, but anyway. But it's not my thing, the newsstand thing. So, no, I would never. This one, I could safely say I would, even if I had the extra coin, there was no way I would buy this.
Yeah, JSS Brooklyn bringing the topics, man. Trust me, we'll have all these conversations as the weeks keep coming, man. So for tonight, we'll keep it to the slab versus not slab, which is raw copies. But yes, we will talk newsstand versus this. Now, CGC 98 for Amazing Spider-Man 607. Newsstand, CGC 98, $2,000. But check this out. Nintendo Power 61. Dude, I came across this while Gabe was shaking through the daily shakers at the tail end of the Shaker Show on Thursday. I saw it. I was blown away. I went back to see how many exist on the census because I saw a $1,500 price tag for the CGC 98, and I was like, why is it so up there? It's the only copy on CGC census in a 98, and not only that, guys, it's the first cover appearance of CHIA Pet. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, funny guy. Funny guy.
But yeah, man, Nintendo Power, dude, this takes me back. Every time I see a Nintendo Power magazine, I freak out. You and I have a common friend who hit me up. It's a colleague of mine. He hit me up. He sent me a photo. He still has all of his Nintendo Powers.
Yeah, Tony was all over it. Yeah, dude, he was all over them.
Nuts.
I never bought Nintendo Power.
What?
No. Wizard was my jam.
How did you get your cheat codes?
I would just try repeatedly, to figure it out. That's what I would do. I mean, it would not be anything else. It would be just repetition, and then maybe like somebody would tell you like, "Hey, you could do that," you know.
Yeah.
But no, I would never buy the Nintendo Power. Now I regret it.
Well,
this is damn cool.
Yeah, this really handsome gentleman here in the chat is the one who actually has them all. He sent me the photo, and I freaked out. I was like, "Holy cow, man!" Like,
he has them all, like 1 to like 80.
No, not the entire run, but he has some bangers in there, some heaters. There's the Mario Kart one that he has in there, so that's a beautiful book. I believe he had the Super Mario one as well. There's a few good ones in there. Right? Zelda, there's wrestling, but besides the point, Nintendo Powers, man, these were hot, especially for kids back in the day that were gaming.
Oh yeah.
So you wanted this. You got a lot of information for video games, cheats, etc. So this is just awesome to see the only CGC 98 exist and the sale take place at $1,500 was wild. Shout out to Covrprice because it was a daily shaker while I was live on the show with Gabe. And
it just made your show.
Yeah, I had to. I absolutely had to put it on here. So really neat to see that. But let's keep it going because we were talking about TK in the chat. He's a huge Transformers fan, like the majority of us, man. Energon Universe, everything Energon has been absolutely stellar. 40th anniversary of Transformers issue number 1. This is the reprint, but it's done by Image and Skybound. Limited to 500, and there's only one CGC 10 copy, and it's sold. The CGC, I put CGC 98. I meant to put a 10. $500. Baker Shaker this week. The only 10 on the census sold. Pretty interesting because it's an all-black cover. I always wonder how people get 10s, right? You got to really take this like off the printer and just give it to CGC, right? That's what I think.
It doesn't even make sense. Like, I mean, just the transport, nothing happened to it on an all-black cover?
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yes, gem mint, baby. That's exactly what it is on the label. But a CGC 10, not 98. Forgive me for that. $500, man.
This, I mean, for a 10, it's worth it.
Yeah. Yes, it is, Del Lotto.
Yeah. I mean, where are you going to find a 10? Like, honestly.
Yeah. If I'm not
Like,
mistaken, guys, I think the exclusive is by Carnivore. So yeah, just to let you guys
do you
know.
think it was one of theirs that they sent in?
I have no idea, man, but the only copy sold $500. It's pretty intense, man.
But it might have been theirs that sent in. I mean, honestly, because again, transport, this and that.
Bro, like I said, for me,
What is a 10? Like, I mean, I can't even fathom it. Like, does it smell different? Like, what is
well, bro, there are scratch and sniff comics. Remember the
we
Santa
know
one
that,
that
right?
DC put out?
You
but,
know?
but yeah, man, I don't know. Like I said, to get a 10 is just
It's
mind.
madness.
Yeah, it's mind blowing. But regardless, this exclusive CGC 98 selling at $500. Let's keep it rolling because Gargoyles #1. We were talking some amazing cartoons from back in the day. Newsstand again, but this sold relatively cheap, bro. Based on the animated TV show, CGC 98, $170. Baker Shaker. Dude, that is a good buy. I don't care what you say. Whoever picked this up, solid, dude. 170 US, well spent, in my opinion.
Well, that's uh, a lot lower than it used to be. I'm pretty sure it was a lot higher for a while.
Yeah, dude, it was much higher. Direct copies were selling for more. So I don't know how this person managed to scoop this up. I'm sad I didn't get to pick this up because CGC 98 for a newsie, 170, that's a good buy, man.
This is a great one of the covers by the great Joe Madureira.
Yep.
It's an incredible cover. Great cartoon. I think there's been talk about restarting a cartoon or a show, right? I think
Look,
I think that's in the works.
Sometimes, as much as I want to see things brought back, Gargoyles for me, man, is one of those things where it's like I'd rather go back to watch the original. I'm scared if they were to bring something back related to
But
Gargoyles.
look how good they did it X-97. It's better than the original.
Yeah, I'll give you that much. I won't deny that.
It's all about man. It's all
But just
about
Goliath's voice, bro, needs to be like,
it's all about taking your time and having love for the property you're doing. If you
yeah,
have love, you can make it work. If you don't, it won't work. That's it.
yeah. I got to shout out. I got to shout out UniX because Uni actually he AOK'd me a newsstand copy of this. It's not a 9.8, but it ain't too far off. It's a beautiful cover. He knows I loved Gargoyles as a kid, and I was hunting for this book. So shout out to him. Thank you so much. But back to the conversation of bringing it back, I'm nervous, bro. I'm nervous if they were to bring it back because, like I said, for me, Gargoyles was the bomb. Loved Goliath, man. There was Demona, there was Broadway, there was Lexington. A lot of good. Oh, the Bronx guy. Loved Bronx. I loved the show.
Oh
Bringing
yeah,
it back. Sorry,
yeah, I loved it too. Yeah, 100%.
but bringing it back scares me. If they can treat it like X-Men 97, I'm cool with that.
I mean, two things that I remember where people were hesitant that I was shocked how well they came out. X-97.
Yeah.
I mean, it's far superior to the original cartoon. That's the facts. By the way, I also think Gargoyles is a better cartoon than the X-Men cartoon was originally too. But anyways,
Wow.
I think Gargoyles is a really good cartoon, like really well done, structured, made sense. The animation was stronger. The problem with the X-Men cartoon, a lot of times the animation is not that strong. And another property that I think was a worthy successor in a different medium, the Watchmen TV show is an incredible sequel to the Watchmen comic series.
Yeah.
It's far better than the Watchmen movie as well. It's intricate, it's logical. So those are two things that were like people were hesitant about, and we kind of got pleasantly surprised.
That's fair.
So I have faith, and I know Michael Baker is kind of freaking about the X-Files, but if they, stay true to it and they expand on it, with conspiracies that are going around now, I think could be really interesting. I'm interested. Release it every Friday night at midnight. Make it creepy the way they used to do X-Files here in Canada, and let's go. Let's get it done.
Gabe, you got blessed with an awesome 14th birthday present because Gargoyles, man, was a huge staple of my childhood. So I love this, man. Seven Magic saying you have to put love in everything you do. That's right, man. There's no other way. No other way. But anyways.
Yes, Alex, you're right. A masterpiece.
Yeah.
The Watchmen show. Alex mentioned how the Watchmen show, TV show, was a masterpiece. Exactly, it was a masterpiece. And by the way, it also taught. It actually taught me actual history. I knew nothing about the Tulsa City Massacre. It didn't even make sense when I found out that there was a whole community that was massacred in actual history, and none of us had heard about it.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I thought it was just made up for the show. And I remember I was at the gym the next day watching a podcast, and people were like, "No, that's a real event." And I'm like, "What are you people talking about?
Yeah.
How are we not told about this event? Like, how do an actual event?" And then you realize how things can be just 60, 70, 80 years, and then you just forget things.
Yep.
If they're not taught. Anyways,
great. It's cool to see that a lot of you are agreeing. Yeah, Michael Schwartz saying one of his all-time favorite shows. Phil saying the same thing. Shout out to Phil's Treehouse as well, guys. Subscribe, man.
What's up, Phil?
But yeah, HBO's Watchmen, very worthwhile. So yeah, pretty cool. But like I said, Gargoyles, I'm just nervous. I just hope they would take care of it.
Don't be. It's gonna kick ass.
Yeah, I hope. But anyways, let's keep it going, guys, because look at this In-Hyuk Lee cover. Marvel Tales Silver Surfer #1. 1-in-50 ratio by In-Hyuk Lee. Now, there was the trade that was available for this as well. So you just had the regular trade available, but a CGC 9/8 of this bad boy sold for $420 US. Baker Shaker this week. Love the cover. I think it looks better as a virgin. I prefer trades in general because I just like them better, and it's more affordable for my wallet. But In-Hyuk Lee killed it on this cover. Silver Surfer covers, for some reason, I'm a sucker for. Even though most Silver Surfer books you could find in the dollar bins, I love picking those up every single time, man. Some great reads out of that too, man.
Oh yeah, listen. Surfer has this weird aura over people. He just looks cool on covers. Like I got a Maleev one. We're just coming back now too. That's just a beautiful sign by Alex Maleev. Beautiful book. This cover here. If you're a Surfer fan, it's a must buy. The other Bermejo one, remember the one with the fire? Another beautiful Surfer cover.
That one is fucking.
It's fire.
Literally.
It's literal fire. Literally. No, this thing. Look at it. The space behind him, like he's coming from a warp, and then you could see where he's been surfing the spaceways with the tail, that's left over, the chemtrail that he's spreading the chemicals with throughout the spaceways. It's incredible. Like honestly, a beautiful cover, and how ripped he is, like just beautiful. Yeah.
Best server cover ever is the Bremio cover. I put it up there. It is for sure up there. Silver Surfer is one of Gabe's all-time favorites. The Volume 3 series, spectacular. Dude, I say it all the time, man. Like those Silver Surfer books, especially dollar bins, pick them up. They're great reads, man. Obviously, some of the other Silver Surfer books picked up, like due to Galactus or the Thanos stuff.
Silver Surfer Black? Come on.
Oh, it's dude. Incredible. Look, everybody gives full credit to Donny Cates when it comes to Venom Run, but like that Venom Run, you need to read that Silver Surfer Black shit.
Chad Moore killed it. The art was just trippy and awesome.
It was good, but again, I still prefer the OG stuff, the Silver Surfer, original runs. Those were the better things for myself.
The Silver Surfer run made me fall in love with Marvel Cosmic. The 90s comics, Starlin and Lim. Yeah. And I believe it was not only Starlin that wrote, it was also Ron Mars. Ron Mars also wrote a lot of it. Ron Mars and Jim Starlin and Ron Lim. And they made me fall in love with Thanos. They made the Thanos gauntlet. They're the guys.
Yeah.
So much of the pop culture that we read now, it's because of them.
Yeah, just to answer Derek, this came out in 2020. So it's 4 years old.
Yeah, it's fairly recent.
Yeah, exactly. But beautiful cover. Like I said, it's available in a trade as well. So if you don't want to pay the coin for a 1-in-50 ratio, you can pick this up for
But the trade won't look as nice on this one.
Yeah, no. The trade, it's kind of like you have the Silver Surfer writing right behind him type thing. Like he's still in front of it. It's not like it's but it's this cover. It's rare I say that I prefer the Virgin cover over the trade. This one, 100% I would go with the Virgin. It's just it really looks good, man. You got Derek saying Ron Lim and Starlin, definitely one of the best duos. 100%, man. I won't disagree with you there. Silver Surfer Black has had some sales again lately, been popping up in my lists. That's interesting. I wonder what's causing that. I think the Null stuff didn't do too well after the Venom movie, but yeah. Silver Surfer 4, Buscema is the GOAT. Yes.
It's a good one. It's a good one. It's one of the big covers.
Absolutely, man. But anyways, this one here, CGC 98, $420 US. Let's keep it rolling because look at this book. Not many people are aware
I
of
love
this.
this. I've never seen it before. I want it.
Yeah, Thunderbolt issue 20 point now. 1-in-50 ratio by Phil Noto. Baker Shaker this week. CGC 96 selling at $275 US. This ties back into what we were saying earlier as well, right? With the Winter Soldier stuff. Not many people were going for 50 copies of Thunderbolts issue 20 point now. So not many of these are out there. But look at this badass cover. I love this team, by the way, of like Thunderbolts. You have like
Yes,
you got Elektra, you got Agent Venom, man, you got Punisher, you got Deadpool, you got Ghost Rider. If that is not the ultimate team right there, man, that's fucking badass shit. Great cover. I love the vintage feel. Everything about this, I'm a sucker for.
it feels as if you're reading a 1950s pulp magazine type thing.
Yeah,
You know, Phil Noto is so underrated. Listen, his covers are almost always bangers. The thing about Phil Noto is sometimes his interiors are a bit stiff. For me, that's what I find. But I find his composition, like this composition, the font choices, everything about this is just so good. Like it's like an old TV show commercial. Like it oozes that kind of pulp feel. I love this. This is incredible.
yep.
And
It's
I would
wicked.
pay this in a second. Now, this book I'd want to have in my collection.
It's wicked, man. Like I said, you said it yourself. Not many people were even aware that this book existed. Very nice cover. JSS saying it's an interesting riff of many old school DC covers and the Taschen hardcover oversized books, which is fun. Couldn't agree more, man. This is a sick cover. I love this.
Yeah.
Great book. CGC 96, 275 US.
Good choice, Baker. Good
Yep.
choice.
Baker always brings the fire. And speaking Baker, check this out. Batman and Robin. Now, I know people feel a certain way about this movie, including myself, but this is the official movie adaptation book. Photo cover right here, back from 1997. CGC 98 selling at $160 US. Baker Shaker this week. Mr. Freeze.
Everybody freeze.
Yeah, that was just fucking horrific. But besides Arnold Schwarzenegger and all that, dude, look, growing up, especially in the 90s, man, like people look at me strange when I tell them that Batman Forever is like one of my favorite childhood movies, man. I really enjoyed that.
Batman Forever was fine.
Dude, Jim Carrey and Tom Jones together, bro, was just amazing. Amazing together, dude. Like I loved the Joker. I loved Jim Carrey as the Riddler. He
was good.
It's not the Riddler we know, right? Like if you go back to older Batman stuff, yes, it kind of made sense. But like in where we stand now, clearly that did not feel like the Riddler we know now.
It's of its time, but I mean, listen, I feel Batman and Forever was a success.
Bro, Seal.
Yes.
Kiss my rose.
She was everybody's. This one though, they let Schumacher do what he wanted, and he just lost his marbles. Like,
completely.
He wanted to bring back the 1950s kitsch kind of thing. It didn't go over well with what the audiences wanted. Listen, the reality is this damn movie killed the comic book movie for a decade, practically.
You're not wrong.
Like, okay, maybe not a decade, but at least 5-6 years until Blade came out.
Yeah.
Until Wesley Snipes convinced somebody that I'm not going to pay taxes and we can make this movie and we'll avoid the IRS and we'll make Blade. Until that movie, the comic book genre was dead. Like this murder. Like a lot of times I talk to you and I'm like, why do people complain? They have so many options to watch stuff now. You know, like Umbrella Academy, you watch something else. There's so much, there's Nights, whatever. I mean, Circle or whatever. This Marvel show sucked, but you get so many choices.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in a time when you had Batman and Robin, and then you had nothing for 5-6 years.
You got Blade.
Not 5 months, not 5 days. 5-6 years, you got nothing. You heard nothing. A dream of having something. So yeah, not everything is good. Secret Invasion kind of sucked, especially the way they ended it and everything.
Yeah.
But you know what? We got X-Men 97 after, so for every Marvels, we get a Deadpool and Wolverine. So they just write out the bad ones, guys, because if not, you're going to get 8-9 years of nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But besides the point, this was an interesting book to see in the Baker Shakers because it took me back. I think this is neat to have in a collection, not at $160 for myself, but hey, man, not everyone's.
I would never pay money for this.
Yeah,
never.
exactly.
This movie is not getting another dime out of me. This movie or anything associated, not getting a dime.
Yeah, exactly. JSS saying it's like the coffee table books. Yeah, you just leave it there. But anyways, keep it rolling because Spider-Man issue number 1. I want to talk about this because I was blown away when we were talking about this on Covrprice a few months ago. This Jason Poland cover, this is from Spider-Man Run back in 2019. I don't know if you guys remember that one.
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, exactly. There's only 40 CGC 9.8s on the census for this, and a 9.8 selling at $425 Canadian. It was a Baker Shaker this week. Poland's art is very unique. There's other ASM book by Poland that sells for a very pretty coin. I learned about Poland by being on the show. I wasn't really familiar with Poland and not, something that immediately caught my eye. And then, yes, exactly, Alex, he did pass away. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is also his last cover that he had done, comic book related. So this is a great book to have in your collection. If you're a fan of Poland's art, you would definitely want to have this. CGC 9.8 at 425 Canadian dollars. It makes sense to me. I don't know about you.
That price is very fair. Last piece of work, 100%. It's also a very beautiful, straight up picture. The skyline, the changing of the colors, the sunset going on.
Yeah.
Wow, this is gorgeous. I've never seen it, by the way. Also, this series is underrated. It was a very good one. Very good story. Intense. Yeah, it was really good story. It was well done, well executed. The art, was it Pichelli and Abrams? Was that the combo? I believe that was a combo.
Yeah.
It was Abrams and his son and Pichelli doing the art. Wonderful work. So it makes a lot of sense that people would be. This was an open order or was it a ratio?
This was an open order, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, just many people slept on it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Even Spider-Man, the way the angle they're using on him swinging is gorgeous.
Yeah, I agree with JSS Brooklyn. Amazing get for the PC. Beautiful book, CGC 9.8, 425.
With significance, too.
Yeah, exactly. With significance. If you're a fan of Poland, or if you're just learning about Poland, definitely dip into seeing what he has to offer over on Google. There's many great books, great art in general. I love it. But anyways, let's keep it rolling because I want to talk about this, guys. Ultimate Fallout 4. It's the book that everybody tends to point to and be like, wow, what a fucking nosedive. And you are correct because this 125 ratio is now at $9,500 for a CGC 9.8. Obviously, first appearance of Miles Morales. Look, the coin that was spent in COVID is just bananas. Like, it was mind-boggling. When I saw this book hitting, the prices it was hitting, I was
$25K easy.
Yeah, dude. And I was watching. We watched somebody we both knew at that point in time spend big coin on this.
It was crazy.
And say they were putting it in a vault. Yikes.
But let me just go say that's the right move to do.
Yes.
If you had the money, whatever you spent on it, put it away for the next 40, 50 years. There's no point in watching the market go up and down now. Like, I mean, that's going to happen where it's going to go up, it's going to go down. If you're in it, you're in it for 40,000 book. Yeah. If you're in it for the long haul with this. Like, I mean,
I would just hate to be that guy that paid the premium back in COVID and now looking at the numbers. Guys, we also need to factor and take into consideration, this is a modern book still holding at $9,500 although it is a huge price drop from the COVID boom. This is still impressive for a 1 in 25 first appearance of Miles Morales. I'm not against it. You know what I mean? Like, it's still holding well.
It's a wonderful book.
If you paid the premium of the 40,
you want to shoot yourself.
Yeah, that hurts.
But again, I come back to this, and I know this sounds really, that's an easy solution. But man, if you got $40K to spend on one book, you're in a different price. You're swimming in a different economic water than I am, at least. So, I mean, I don't have enough to buy. I could buy a car with $40,000. I don't have enough to spend on a book. So if you're spending $40K on a book, I presume you got your house, you got your car, you got your family taken care of, and this is extra cash to put in a vault, right? Yeah. So this guy could afford putting it in a vault and just holding it there to have the collectible. That's who I believe works with this kind of stuff. Like, I don't believe it's a person like desperate for a book, right?
No, exactly.
I mean, it has to be someone who doesn't care.
Exactly.
It's the only logical thing for me to fathom spending this money on a book.
Yeah, but Baker Shaker this week is, I'm happy we bring it up because CGC 98 now holding at $9,500.
What's interesting though is I still think this is the key modern book of the last 10 years. No, 10? Was it longer than that? When did this come out? 15 years?
Yeah, I would say maybe 15.
It's still the premier book of its era.
Yeah.
No? I mean, it's the key.
Yeah,
the biggest character.
For
and
sure.
by the way,
2011.
Side note,
2011.
Did anybody catch the script reveal of what the Kang Dynasty was supposed to be?
You shared it with me, and the fact that he's supposed to have been
in the script of the Kang Dynasty, the original one that was supposed to come out.
But we don't know if this is factual.
What was a supposed leak of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That the old writers wrote, the guys that were writing Rick and Morty. So Jeff Loveness wrote, Peter and Miles are in school together at Empire University. They're both Spider-Man. Like, they're there. So I don't know what would happen and how it would happen, but if that happened in like Kang Dynasty, then this book you would have saw a rocket.
But I don't think it hits 40K numbers again.
No. It'll only hit 40K number again in 30 years, 20
Maybe.
years. I don't think it's ever going to go back in anytime soon.
But we'll see. Anyways, let's run through the rest of the list because now we're getting lengthy. We have more stuff to talk about, but the Jetsons, number 1, first appearance of the Jetsons in comics. This is back in 1963. That's right. CHIA was 15 when this came out. CGC 7.5.
Just turned though.
Yeah, $626. Dude, I love the Jetsons. It's kind of funny because you look back and like watching the cartoons of the Jetsons, and you look at when this came out as well, right? In comics, I always get vibes of Fantastic Four, although they're not superheroes and stuff like that, but because they're mostly like space, the family, and all that stuff, I would always get that vibe from the Jetsons.
Yeah, like a FF kind of futuristic kind of vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I was never a fan. I mean, I liked the Jetsons and the Flintstones, but they were all right. They were never my jam. It was okay. I mean, this is a cool book to have, though.
For sure.
This is a cool first appearance of the Jetsons. That's cool. Like, I mean, I'd love to have this in my collection. This is definite. So this is basically. Is there even how many books higher than a 7.5 were? Because I'm sure kids were reading this stuff.
I didn't check the census, but already a 7.5. That's my range to be more than happy with at 620.
Oh yeah. I would go 6, 5.5. This is the 60s, guys.
Yeah,
that's almost a century old.
Yeah, exactly. It's a gorgeous. It's a sick book to have. Wicked cover. You can't go wrong. And gold.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. But yeah, $626 for this in a 7.5. Batman 428. We were talking about Death in the Family. Newsstand edition. Here comes the premium again, guys. Back in 1988 for this one. Death of Jason Todd. I put this up there as one of my favorites for Batman because it was just shocking to read, right? Bro, when he wails at him in the face with the crowbar, it's just fucking something that stayed with me from when I started reading comics till now. Now, you got to remember, I started reading comics years after this came out. So coming across this when I was relatively young was like, holy shit, right? I didn't have a crazy attachment to Jason Todd at this point because I was relatively young, as I said, but this book, this arc was just a standout to me. It really, made an impact on me at that point in time. I love it. I will always come back to this, read it every now and then because it's just good. I really, really like this. The fact that it was fan voted too is what makes it very interesting that the fans chose. And I think it was like a small margin on how fans just barely won over the fact they wanted him to die rather than live. It's just wicked.
This is an absolutely awesome cover. Like, it's incredible. Like, I'm looking at it now. I was just studying while you were talking. It's a beautiful cover. Like, this is gorgeous. Again, the newsstand premium, especially for this, is an earlier newsstand. There was a lot of them back then.
Yeah.
But I guess it's a black cover. Makes sense that it would be an issue. I also feel shame every time I see these covers from Mike Mignola, because I realize how foolish I was as a child, who used to think that Mike Mignola was not better than like a Rob Liefeld. And then I look back at it and see the composition of this cover, and I'm like, holy cow, it's absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah, it's
like,
sick.
It's literally like everything about this cover is gorgeous. Like, everything. And the whole run of the covers, by the way, that he did were gorgeous.
Yep.
The Batman one, the Joker one, they're all great. I'm not sure if he did the Joker one, though. I'm not sure. I know he did the Batman one and this one. And then the one that's Batman and him together, right? There's one as well, right? Anyways. I also love this Batman logo, by the way. They should bring this one back. It's cool. With the slanted bat in the background.
Mm-hmm.
But no, this is, I would never pay this premium. I'll just get it direct. I wouldn't go for the premium. There's no way. But this is an epic story and an epic cover. And yes, at one point I thought Rob Liefeld was a better artist than Mike Mignola, and I feel so much shame.
Yeah, you should. You totally should.
Yeah,
But
it's
anyway,
shameful.
yeah, let's move on because we have Bitcoin Comic Handbook number 1. This is the second printing, guys. That's right, by Devil's Due 2018. Bitcoin is a thing, guys. Yes, many people are interested in Bitcoin. I'm curious to see how many of you in the chat are actually invested in Bitcoin. But if you haven't and you're curious about it, here's your handbook. CGC 98, $150 US. Baker Shaker this week. I didn't even know this book existed. In fact,
this doesn't even make sense.
it goes beyond this, because if you're wondering, hold on a second, the second print is selling for $150 US. What is the first print going for? Well, you got the first print right here. There's only 6 CGC 98s on the census, and the 98 selling at $305 US for this book. Bitcoin, baby.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No drive to get this at all.
No,
Zero.
at all.
Zero. Like, there's $0.
Stop. I thought you'd be an immediate buyer.
No. I'm not a crypto bro yet. So maybe eventually we'll all be, but no, I wouldn't. No. I wouldn't spend any of my hard-earned real cash for a book about fake cash.
Yeah. I feel you. And neither would I. But unfortunately, this is a thing, guys. So there you have it. Dan Delatorre is saying, I'd like to see the Bitcoin origin story. To this day, we have no idea where this came from. I don't know much about it, to be honest with you. Alex saying, fuck Bitcoin, just buy comics. Well, you can buy a Bitcoin comic, so there you go. Guys, that was the market report, but we are going to get into some of the new stuff. And I told you guys we were not going to do a hot topic, like a spicy topic, but we are going to do it now. So we're going to talk about the raw versus graded discussion. I also want to remind everybody, I'm going to be giving away this Gun Honey signed by Adam Hughes. So if you want it, stick around. We will do the draw. And that's just my way of saying Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, whatever it is you're celebrating this week. That's just my way of giving back to you guys. Now, I will zoom through some of the topics because we're including that raw versus not raw discussion. So we'll get into that.
The word's graded.
Yeah, graded. We're going to have fun with this, though, Chia. I'm going to actually do like I did last week. If you guys want to join the discussion at the end of the hot topics, feel free. I just dropped the link to join the discussion. if nobody joins, it's okay. I understand. It's the Christmas holidays. There's football.
You don't like Nick? It's okay. It makes sense. Chia's not your thing.
Nobody likes Chia Pet, and that makes a lot of sense. So that being said, let's get into it. Chia, you ready?
You know it.
Let's go. All right, Chia Pet is schwitzing backstage. I already see him over there. Look, he took off the hat. But hot topics this week. It's hot. I get it. It's hot topics. I see what you did there. Let's get into the first one. We watched What If episode 1. Obviously, season 3 is now underway. So if you guys haven't had the chance yet, I'm not going to spoil anything about this. We won't go into details other than the fact that I thought it was an interesting episode. I know people feel a certain way about What If. I take it for what it is. What the episode reminded me a lot of is Avengers Mech Strike. I know they sold toys for Mech Strike. My kids got quite a few of them, like the Hulk one, the Captain America one, the Iron Man one. I like the Mech Strike stuff. I enjoyed the first episode. I think because I know what's coming for the tail end of season 3, how it's going to end on a big note, I kind of just took this as, okay, this is an entry point, right? Like I just had my my cocktail before the main dish is what I took it in as. What'd you think of it?
I thought the idea was cool. I thought seeing giant Transor Z type Voltron type thing was fun. I think it needed to be longer a little bit to get into some more of the cool things. The story needed like a 30 minutes. Didn't really do justice to explain the full concept, I think, a little bit, Yeah. But I mean, it's a what if story. It's like the what if comics. They're kind of like random little nuggets that you see a window in time kind of thing. They're not really, for me, they're not really like, I don't really take them that serious, I'm interested to see how they're going to all tie it all together at the end, because they usually like to take pieces of each episode and bring them up in the culmination. So I'm interested to see what do we get, like what a part of this episode comes to bear fruit at the end of the series.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was fine. I mean, the what if comics, some are better than others, But
yeah,
they're all fun, interesting. I think it was a nice, interesting kind of, like you said, get back into the rhythm of what the story is about, flip it. It was just a really random and original concept out of nowhere, which I enjoyed, by the way.
One thing I will say is that Hulk in this episode, you said it as well. We felt the same thing. It's very Titan, right? Titan.
Oh Hulk. Yeah. That's Titan. That's not Hulk. It's Titan. That's they just didn't call it that. But
exactly.
It's that. Yeah.
Exactly. So if you guys watch it, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. And if
yes, Jeb was definitely pleased with this episode.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. And it was good. I said, it was a great first episode. So I'm on board. I'm looking forward to the next one dropping.
Which is in about an hour and 15 minutes.
Exactly. So we'll wrap it up as soon as possible so we can get to watching that. Now, Secret Level, I said it earlier in the show, got renewed for season 2. If you guys missed it, they dropped the second half of the episodes. And man, these are amazing, quick, short episodes, man. You got like 9-minute episodes, 15-minute episodes. They're great, touching on many video game characters in this concept here of Secret Level. A lot of them being wicked, a lot of them being dark. Dude, the fact that they were capable of making Pac-Man one of the most darkest things I have ever seen, Pac-Man related, I was like, holy shit, dude. I was blown away. It's fucking insane. I don't know if you watched the Secret Level stuff yet.
I have watched the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I thought they were all cool. Even the Arnold one, which was Revenant. I also like to find out sometimes when they don't tell you exactly where they're from, trying to figure out what game it is. I think it's a brilliant idea. I sometimes wish we had more of the episode, kind of like what we had with the What If, where I wish they were like an hour episode, some of them, because I think they're such high quality. But I'm happy it's renewed for season 2, and I hope it leads to breakaway long form stories for some of these universes that they're creating.
Yeah. No, it's
How was the
wicked.
Mega Man one? Was it good?
The Mega Man was good. It was very short. I wish we got more. Now it only confirms what I was feeling for the longest time as a big Mega Man fan, as a big video game, fan in general. I want to see Mega Man on the big screen, bro. I really want to see it done. I would love it in some animated form the way it was done here. They really handled it well. It was just too short. I really wanted more, man. I was watching it and I'm like, man, give me more. The characters were well done. Everything about it. I really enjoyed the season. Some episodes hit
Yeah.
than others, which is normal. That happens in
What
majority
is it? These are like nuggets, right? We're getting nuggets,
exactly.
slivers of something,
Exactly, man. But I really enjoy it, man. JSS Brooklyn saying, sorry, I missed it. I was having a hilarious time on Whatnot today. Bronze Age horror is my Achilles heel. Okay, I'm missing out on some of the conversation here, but
they broke off to their own sub conversation.
I see it now. I see the rest of the chain. But yeah, Secret Level season 2. Sign me up. Let's get it going. Now, Beyond the Spider-Verse won't swing into theaters until at least 2026, guys. That's the latest update we got. Look, first, the guy who's playing fucking Miles is coming off as weird. So some weird things been going on social media with Haley Steinfeld. Then you have this new girl there that she's like engaged or something, and like he posted some picture or whatever. I don't know what it is. Very strange. I hope this dust settles for him because it's not really a good look. But the movie now being pushed to 2026. Chia, I'm going to ask you very quickly. 2027 release for Secret Wars. Do you think this is being done intentionally, sir?
No. I think they would want it to come out before Secret Wars. If that script leak that we saw is true, that would make sense that they'd want it to come out before Secret Wars, maybe,
Yeah.
Perhaps because maybe what we're watching in Kang Dynasty / Doomsday is actually a world where it's confusing because the incursion is happening and our characters don't realize it's happened, right?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So
Exactly.
characters have been merged together, thinking that it's been normal and that the world has already changed in front of them, right? So that could be it, if that's the first of how it's come about. As far as the movie being pushed, I'm like, man, as long as they keep up the quality of the first one and the second one, this work takes a long time, like that. Each one of those panels was like art. Like you could take frames of the second one.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
And put any one of those frames in your house as art.
Some of the art, just when Gwen is there, it reminded me a lot of the Radioactive Spider-Gwen comics.
It's incredible. It's incredible. Spider-Punk, come on.
Yeah, it was sick.
All the time. Like we're talking about, it's incredible work. So if the guys need to cook longer, let them cook longer. Now, as far as Shamik Moore and what he's been doing online, I hope doesn't affect him continuing doing the voice work.
Yeah.
Because what he's been doing is, it was weird when I first heard him like trying to harass Steinfeld, like he was depressed that she got engaged. I'm like, okay, he worked with her and he had a crush on her. It's cute, he had a crush on the girl. And that's normal. And he was trying to pursue her, and he didn't pay attention and whatever. But now, that other girl that was playing Liz Allen from, basically, she's the Vulture's daughter in the first one, in the first Spider-Man. And that girl was at a party with him. And the guy took a picture, and the girl's engaged, and asked him to take the picture down, and the dude didn't. Like, bro, what is wrong with you? Like, get a life. You're weird.
Yeah,
like,
it's very strange vibes, man. I don't know.
And she, like that's the whole thing. So I hope he continues playing Spider-Man. Well, I hope he doesn't harass. Because by the way, Alex from the Cosmic Circus, Alex P, said this is not limited to other co-actresses, co-stars. He's harassed fans as well.
It's weird. Very weird.
Yeah. So I don't know what this dude's thing is about. But as far as the movie goes, maybe they're delaying it for Spider-Man. I don't think they're doing it for Secret Wars because even if it comes out in 2025, it could still lead into Secret Wars in 2020 Doomsday, right?
Yeah.
My point is I just think they need time to cook because it's gotta be perfection. Yeah, so I'm okay with them waiting.
Likewise, man, and I look forward to the movie drop. But speaking movie drops, something I definitely look forward to. This right here, what a fucking trailer, Superman, guys. I'm very curious to hear what the chat has to say. If you're catching the replay, let me know. But man, this was very, very well executed. Gave us just enough. I think we also got a lot more than we thought we were gonna get, man, because we saw a lot of people appear in this trailer from literally the music riff of the original Superman stuff. You had Crypto show up. I'm going to talk about the Crypto thing in just a minute, but the rest of the characters, obviously, we got Lois, we got Green Lantern, we got Lex Luthor, we got Hawk Girl, Mr. Terrific. You got so many people that popped in on this, and it was very well done. I thought the trailer gave us just enough. People feel a certain way about the look of Superman. I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? As long as it's a good movie. I care less about that, actually, because Cosmo looks nothing like he does in comics, to be honest with you. It's a totally different dog. It's a totally different dog if you want to go that route. But I love the trailer, man. What'd you think of this?
I thought the trailer was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Listen, never been, you know me. I wasn't a fan of Snyder's iteration. I didn't feel that, when, for me, the moment that Superman lets his dad die in a tornado because he's scared that his identity will be revealed, I'm out. The movie's done for me. It doesn't make sense. Clark wouldn't act that way. It's impossible. You could convince me that, if you want the dad to die, let him die by a heart attack, showing Superman that as much as powerful as he has, he can't prevent mortals from dying, right? Some kind of lesson they could learn other than his dad putting his hand there, like saying, "Nah, man, I'm gonna die in a tornado." Like it's asinine. I'm sorry, it's stupid. It shows that Zack Snyder has no idea what makes Clark, tick. I love the trailer. The only thing that's maybe in retrospect starting to annoy me a little bit is I think they went too comic accurate with Guy Gardner.
And it's terrible.
I think I'm all for the playfulness, I'm all the playfulness, but he looks weird, it's not playful. It looks too much like Larry Moe, I think like Moe from the Three Stooges. And I know Guy Gardner is supposed to be kind of weird looking and whatever, but it looks more silly than weird, than funny, I don't know. That's the only thing I could say in the whole thing that I didn't like. I thought, just before you do the Crypto thing, or you want to wait for Crypto?
Well, go for it.
I think Crypto is incredible. I think the supersonic whistle to bring in Crypto and the bond that Superman has with his dog, humanizing him like other people have with their dog, it works on such an emotional level that it's that at the moment where he's beaten, which is cool, by the way, because what beat Superman like this, that there wasn't just a beating. He got beat down, and the only person he could rely on is his dog. I think it's such a sweet and emotional moment, and I think everybody's going to be buying those dogs and then dressing them up on Halloween for Crypto. I think it's going to be insane. It's going to be insane.
I really hope people are not buying dogs for that sake, bro.
Well, they're going to people who want to buy dogs are going to buy this dog. I'm telling you, they're going to fall in love with this dog. It's 100%. People fall in love with Grogu. People fall in everything. They're going to find dogs that look like this because it's adorable, and they're going to put on a cape with it. 100%. It's adorable.
That would be horrific. I hope people are not buying dogs for that sake. But I don't know if you remember the Benchwarmers. Do you remember the movie The Benchwarmers?
Yes.
There you go. Nick Swartz.
It doesn't work.
It looks like him. There's our Guy Gardner, bro.
I know what he was going for. Like, I get what he was going for. I just think it's failed. Like, I don't know if it's Nathan Fillion's face is being a certain way because it's a long, bigger face. I don't know. It's just not working, And I'm all for comic accuracy, but this one is just not working.
Look,
it annoys me.
We'll see what we get more from this. So far, I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
Oh,
I thought it was well done. The riff was amazing. That's what really sent me chills when we got the original Superman theme going. Some of the characters kind of puzzled me. Guy Gardner being especially the top guy that puzzled me. Comic accurate wise, sure. But
Lex looked so good. Looked so good.
For sure.
And Holt's a good actor.
Yeah. But
I can't wait.
Let's take it with what it is. I thought it was great for a first impression. I'm on board, man. I've got faith. Let's see how this movie.
All in. I think it's a masterpiece of a trailer. The
Yeah.
music was wonderful.
For me, it's crypto, bro. That's not what crypto looks like, man. Come on.
Oh, stop it!
Come on.
You're reminding the crypto that they made The Rock look like.
Bro, you gave us Rocket Raccoon, who looked so accurate to the comics.
No, I think crypto in the comics. Are you sure crypto in the comics doesn't look like this?
No, he doesn't, bro. Did you not see? No.
No, you're thinking crypto from the cartoon, the DC Pets.
Bro, I will happily write crypto.
There's a comic cover crypto that came out now, post New 52.
Yeah.
And he looks like that.
No, he doesn't.
Yes.
No, he doesn't. Here, look, I'll show you. I can't stand it. I really can't stand it. Here, it's actually, it pisses me off. There you go. That doesn't look like crypto. Oh, dude, the notorious Alex Ross cover right now. That does not look like crypto.
Yeah, but go
not
up
crypto.
a little bit.
I want more muscly crypto. That's the crypto I want.
You want a muscular crypto.
Yeah, I want bad boy. Not good boy.
Now you're being a little bit. Now it's too much.
It's not too much. This is my crypto.
That dog's adorable, and you're just a hater.
No.
You know what? You're just a Snyder bro who just hates James Gunn.
I have nowhere.
You're a Snyder bro who hates James Gunn. That's it. You're never gonna be happy.
Nowhere close. Alex, my God, Alex, you're nuts, dude. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. This is amazing. Like I said, every time you guys are going to do super chats, I'm going to find ways to give back to you. And tonight, I'm going to give away this book. And let me tell you, shipping to the States is not it's a pretty penny. So this is definitely going to go towards the shipping
You're
cost.
A good man, Alex. You're a good man with a good taste.
Thank you so much.
I knew he was good when he loved Watchmen. I knew it. Alex was a good one.
Yeah, he is. He is a good one. But thank you so much for that. Not necessary, but highly appreciated. Like I said, it's going to go towards the shipping for tonight's giveaway. So really means a lot, man. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, Gun made us tear up over a raccoon and a weasel. I think he can handle a dog. I agree, dude. I think he's going to be just fine. I'm just arguing with Chia based on the look. But let's keep it rolling, guys. There's a few other topics. I'm going to run right through them. In fact, Batman 2 gets positive updates from the director. So, yeah, they're finishing the script and we're going into shooting next year. That's great news. Chia, I'm going to skip this one, though, okay? Is that cool with you?
I'm just saying the Batman's better than the Dark Knight trilogy. That's it. I'm saying it.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yes. I said it and I meant it.
That's heavy.
That's right.
We'll save this fight for another day. But anyways.
It is.
Sonic 4 is apparently confirmed, guys. 2027 release. I watched Sonic 3 this weekend. Absolutely amazing.
Without me.
Yeah, without him. I watched it with the kids. And let me tell you, my oldest did not blink. He was really locked into this movie. Becomes the first film of the trilogy. First film of the trilogy to get certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. It's also one of the highest scores ever for a video game in film adaptation. 98% over on Rotten Tomatoes, and then the Tomatoers gave it 85%. If you saw the ending, you know exactly why they're confirming Sonic 4. Great surprises. Keanu Reeves crushed it. Jim Carrey coming out of retirement for this did a phenomenal job. I loved it. What a great movie. What a great movie. If you're a fan of Sonic, you're going to really enjoy this. And like I said, if you played Sonic Adventures 2, man, the callbacks to that game are incredible. Absolutely incredible, especially at the end, man. Something happens at the end, you're like, wow, okay, they went there. So you're really going to enjoy this if you played the game, or even if you're just a fan of Sonic, man. Chia, I won't let you talk too much on this because you didn't get it. Yeah, Chia's getting spicy. He's getting ready for the big topic, which we're going to rush.
I'm telling you right now, Mario's a better video game. Sonic's the better movies. That's the facts. Deal with it.
Bro, give Mario a chance, bro. Mario a chance.
Sonic's movies are better.
He's had one movie. They're at 3.
I'm a Mario guy. But I remember watching first Sonic during the pandemic, and I'm like, what is happening here? How is Sonic a good movie? I didn't understand. John Ralphio is a great voice actor. That's the facts.
Sure.
You don't know who John Ralphio is, do you?
I just want to get to the big stuff. So I'll let you go. I'm going to let you go. Jeff the Landshark coming to the MCU. Apparently, guys, this is what Chia was talking about at the beginning. Yeah, he's leaving the chat. Why'd you leave the chat, bro? Come back. You should be happy about this. There you are. So Jeff the Landshark.
You threw me out.
It wasn't me, so.
How? I didn't even
I
touch
didn't
my
throw you
keyboard.
out. Jeff the Land Shark. Okay, anyways, this is coming to the MCU. Brad Winderbaum teases Jeff the Land Shark's MCU debut by saying, it's coming. I can't say when, I can't say where, but we're all Jeff fans around here. So, hey, if this happens, like you said at the beginning, books might pop.
Maybe what if? Because I think Winderbaum is a TV producer.
Sure.
I wouldn't be surprised we get him in the what if, some kind of like battle in the end, and you see him like eat something or something.
Yeah. I would see it more in that form as opposed to in
Yeah.
live action. I don't think it would happen in live action, but if that's the case.
Or a Deadpool thing. It has to be
Yeah.
like something irreverent.
Exactly. Winderbaum saying that apparently he is coming. So if that's the case, guys, the Jeff stuff might stick
I
around.
didn't rage quit.
Jeff stuff might stick around a little longer. We shall see. But anyways, keep it going. CBCS, this was a big topic. If you guys missed Swago House's video, I encourage you all to go check it. But apparently, Collectivist Holdings unveiled as parent company to Beckett, Dragon Shield, and Southern Hobby. Now, they said that we're thrilled. It's truly a new beginning, said Kevin Isaacson, CEO of Collectivist Holdings. We enter 2025 with an incredible team of dedicated hobbyists, motivated investors, and a dedicated customer base that appreciates our 100-plus year commitment to success across the Beckett, Dragon Shield, and Southern Hobby companies. All brands under the Collectivist banner will maintain their independence and identities, but they will now benefit from an added layer of coordination and strategy from a global partnership team. With a new year mere days away, Collectivist enters 2025 with a commitment to service and innovation that will empower collectors, independent retailers, and manufacturing partners. I think this is good for CBCS. I do agree with Derek that this is horrible as a name because, I think of this as well. Collectivist for the rest of us. But if you guys are not familiar with Collectivist, I want to giggle when I say the name as well. So there's that to that. Hold on. I'm going to just show you guys. I'm going to stop sharing this one. I'm just going to show you guys the website very quickly before we get to some of the bigger topics. Now, here's Collectivist. They're pretty well established, as you guys can see. Beckett, I don't think I need to say much more about Beckett. I think this is good for CBCS, bro. Backing wise and, really getting themselves out there. It's cool. I think we enter 2025 now with this news for CBCS, and then you have PSA. CGC, to be honest with you, CGC has been through the ringer in 2024. I think there's been a complete asinine amount of issues that have come out of CGC in 2024 that have me also reconsidering some of the books I'm sending in for grading, etc. with them. So we'll see how this pans out, but good news, I think.
I think that, listen, I've always felt that CBCS should be way higher in the competition with CGC. I never understood why people dislike them, at least the market. I mean, I have a couple of CBCS slabs. I have no issue buying a CBCS slab. I have zero qualms with it. I just think that the market is obsessed with certain things and they go for it like that, and that makes sense. I get it. I don't judge other people how they but I have zero problems with the CBCS. I actually think their slab is very sturdy and very nice and very sleek. The new one that they came out with, I like it. I think they've done a piss poor job in differentiating themselves or marketing themselves a little bit. I think they needed to be a little bit more aggressive, especially now with CGC having a couple of follies, but other than that, I mean, I think it's a good idea that they got bought by a bigger company to help them market themselves a little better, because I think that's been one of their problems.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
I agree, but very interesting to end 2024 with CBCS news. PSA dropping as well now in 2025, so we'll see how things pan out with all three companies. But anyways, best reads of 2024, Chia. I'm curious because you and I had this discussion going back and forth. I want to see what the chat says, and those of you catching the replay as well. What are your top 3 favorite reads of 2024, whether it be an individual issue or a current series that's ongoing. CHIA, well, he hit me up and he let me know his 3. So do you want to give us some information, sir?
Avengers Twilight by Zdarsky and who's the artist again?
Daniel Acuna.
That's right, Acuna. I always mix him up with Noto. Incredible series. Cap coming out of retirement. It was such a breath of fresh air. It almost has like a Dark Knight mix with like it's just a wonderful series. And I try to go with a few of them that are a little bit more lengthy. Like Absolute Batman is one of my favorite books that I've read this year, but it's still kind of early, and I'm sure it's still going to be amazing because the group is incredible. But that's one of the runner-ups, let's say, and then maybe let's say Transformers was also incredible. Every book is by Daniel Warren Johnson, and the team is incredible. But yeah, Avengers Twilight, full run, start to finish, incredible run. I hope now that Chip's coming back to Marvel, we get a second series in this one. Just the Hawkeye covers and the Hawkeye character, so cool. Like it was incredible. The way they flipped the Tony script and how Tony, it was incredible. The Ultimates, I think, is a breath of fresh air. Every issue is so different and violent, but interesting and violent with a purpose, and it has something to say, but it's not like over the top on your banging you over the head with it. It's just well done, well crafted, original. The characters and the new spins are all original. The She-Hulk's original, the Hawkeye is original. Like everything that we're seeing is just such a wonderful take. Doom being Doom is one of the new Doom is it's incredible. I love it. The fact that we have 2 Reeds in this universe, the Maker and Doom, and they're both not the Reed that we know, is just incredible. The fact that episode, that issue 4 of the Ultimates, which was about the Fantastic Four's origin, that wasn't the origin, with that incredible cover as well, is one of the best comics I read, period, all year. It's incredible. And then finally, the best comic of the year. It's from issue 1 to issue 12. Every issue has been a banger. They've made issues where 2 old dudes are talking about a newspaper, and the issue is entertaining and interesting, and it has you at the edge of your seat. Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah. I can't believe how it's maintained the quality month in, month out. And the funny thing about the Ultimate Universe, and I keep coming back to it, the fact that each issue takes place in real outside world time.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you get a full story in the issue, and then you pick up the story continuing in the next issue, and it could be in the middle of the action, at the end of the month, or whatever. And somehow the writers are so creative that they fill you in on what happened that month. And you feel like there's momentum, like, story's happening when we're not there, and we're catching a little glimpse of it. Yeah. And it feels like it's energetic and forward, positive moving, but still kind of like you're not lost, and doesn't feel like exposition. It's the best. I think it's the best book on the market, and I can't believe it's 12 issues in and it's still this good.
Yeah, dude, I agree with you on all 3. It's interesting that you have a full sweep for Marvel here, but it's impossible to choose a top 3, because I think that 2024 is probably one of the best years in a long time when it comes to reads. Titles that have come out, we've been beyond spoiled. I'm going to give you guys a quick look at what I have as well on the list.
One thing, just to reiterate, Absolute Batman, I think if it had a little bit longer run, I would have had it. It's one of the runners-up, and Transformers the runner-up.
No problem.
And DC's been kicking ass a lot more in the second half of the year.
Yes.
The Zdarsky Batman wasn't where it should have been, and an Absolute Power, I don't think it was as strong as it should have been. And sorry.
Now, I'm just going to give you my 3 favorite reads, but this favorites, like, I can continue to extend and say that number 3 is tied amongst multiple titles, because Doom was just a book that stood out to me this year. It was absolutely amazing. I thought it was just front to back wickedness, man. There's so many awesome things that take place. The callback, the second you open the first page, it's well executed. And the fact that this book popped, not based on speculation or anything at all, really because it's a good read and a lot of people missed out on this. It's a great Doom book to have in your collection. That stood out to me as well. Now, multiple titles that you guys are mentioning, even here in the chat. Chia, you were talking the Energon universe. I really enjoyed everything Energon universe
Oh,
related. It's at the top of my reads whenever something comes out. Ghost Machine stuff, man. I'm catching up now with Red Coat and stuff like that. But
so good.
yeah, dude, I've loved Ghost Machine stuff. Well, bro, I loved Geiger when it first came out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It was
Mid-pandemic, everybody freaked out about Geiger right away.
exactly. Ultimate Universe, Absolute Universe, I'm going to talk about in just a minute, but the Ultimates is great. Avengers Twilight was great. I agree with Derek on the Ain't No Grave, man. Ain't No Grave is underrated. I think a lot of people
Yeah,
are kind of sleeping on that one. And dude, Scotty Young art's like, sign me up, man. I love it.
some other indies, just quick power fantasy. The
Yes.
Moon is Following.
Dude, The Moon is Following Us, dude, is so good.
I mean, there's like
Danny Warren Johnson, dude. You can't go wrong.
This will go down, like you guys do, like last week you were talking, as one of the best years in comics in ages.
Yeah. Guys, people are talking about let's say monsters because Mark Spears, right? His cover art or whatever it is, people are all on board that stuff. If you actually read the issue, it was pretty damn good. I actually really enjoyed it. Distillery had a banger year. Yes, Derek, thank you for bringing that up. Amazing. Batman with Zdarsky was great. I will say it's not in my top 3, that's for sure, but it was good. I think people also need to factor Batman Gargoyle of Gotham there. Dude, that's fucking banger stuff right there. I can give you guys a top 20 better than I can give you a top 3, but I will say that Absolute Batman, although it's relatively fresh, because Chia, you brought it up, and that's why I put it on the list. These are not entirely my top 3. I know it says my top 3, but I feel like everything is tied because it's such a good year for comics. Absolute Batman has started out the gates very well. DC All In was really good. I was hooked in from DC All In. Now look at Absolute Batman. This is a flip side universe. The book is very good. I'm loving what we're getting so far. It's something totally different and unique. So I enjoy it. But Ultimate Spider-Man, not because I'm a Spider-Man guy, but you said it best. It's been consistent from front to back. I think throughout the entire year, Ultimate Spider-Man definitely holds the number 1 spot for me. To say the other 2 are number 2 and 3, you can put them wherever you want, because I really, really had a phenomenal 2024 when it comes to reading. I think so much good content has come out, but Ultimate Spider-Man's been consistent. I love how each issue has me on the edge of my seat, kind of like you said. It takes place in month-to-month form in the same months that we are in. You know what I mean? Like the latest issue just
Christmas
ended.
one.
Yeah. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, here I'm just gonna pull up SNMC's comment and then hop to what I wanted to say. Ultimate and Absolute is a new take on a new universe. Batman, with his continuity storyline from Zdarsky, has been a great read without a whole reboot or retake on his character. I agree.
The issue I had with the Zdarsky run is I felt that he had more to say, and he kept getting interrupted by the necessity of having Batman involved in major events.
Yeah,
where he didn't have this problem at all going in. I disagree with that. I think Ultimate Spider-Man is even better. But anyways, I think the issue with Zdarsky is he keeps getting interrupted, and now he's being pulled off it to get Hush going. You know. Yeah. So I think we never got the full breadth of what Zdarsky could have done, and that's what it always leads me. You know, like this last 2 issues have been bangers, with the allusion to what's going on now since All In again. Great stories, but again, I think the books have been great across the board. I will say the only blemish I will see, even though I'm a Marvel fanboy, as you saw with the thing, as paperweights would attest, I think the only blind spot in all the probably, because Superman's in his best it's been in ages, the Ultimate line, the Absolute line's great, the Batman's line, I would say the Daredevil book is great. No one talks about it. Moon Knight's good. Hulk's good. The Avengers book is good with McKay. The X-Men line is good. It's Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man has been the only book, I would say, of the flagship books that's not where it should be. And now we're getting Joe Kelly and Pepe Larraz. So it should probably going to be a big difference. Just the fact that you have Pepe on the art and Joe Kelly, who's an incredible writer, and is probably setting up the stuff now. So I think the fact that we're going to get that permanent created, well, permanent as modern comics will allow, I think that it actually will help solidify that and rectify that. If you have in the Ultimate run, you'll have Zdarsky and Hickman and Chichetto, and then the regular one you have LaRoz and Kelly. So that's the only blemish I see on the in the of the big books.
Yeah, SNMC. Yes, Doom is a one shot, but again, all I'm talking about is reads for myself, not current ongoing titles, etc. Books that stood out to me. Ultimate Spider-Man 1, I was hooked out the gate. I think it's doing phenomenal throughout the year. It's very consistent. Absolute Batman's doing the same thing for me. Doom, that one book blew me away. So that's all I'm saying, is that this one particular book was really, really good. But like I said, I can go on forever. Grommets, dude, indie-wise, I think indie really crushed it this year. There's so much good stuff that came out of indie comic books this year. Titles exploding. We just spoke Ain't No Grave.
Yep.
Bro, Beneath the Trees carries into 2020.
Oh my God, yeah.
It was so damn good. Like, I can go on forever. So to say I have an actual top 3, I can't. I'm putting these 3 just to talk about them because you brought up Absolute Batman, so I wanted to talk about it, but I didn't want anyone to forget about Doom because it's really good. But Ultimate Spider-Man, month to month, continues going. If you read issue 12, you saw this ending on issue 12. It gave me immediate ASM 299 vibes. Infamous Jeb was saying the same thing. If you follow him on Instagram, you would have seen him saying it as well. But his, Peter was completely quiet within this issue. There was no dialogue at all. And then at the end, you can see as to why. So I won't say much more. You can see the pretty much the spoiler right here. Are we going to be getting Black Suit Spidey in 2025 relatively quick? Who knows? But clearly some very, very interesting things going on within the Ultimate Spider-Man run. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. I think you guys need to get on this if you're not already. But as I said, to give you an actual top 3, it's almost impossible for me because this year has been incredible. I can name titles forever. We can do an actual video where we give you guys, a top 10. I think that would be fun. But I think we're going to have at least 20 honorable mentions for that 11th spot, the 11th spot. Now, CHIA, it wasn't in the plans for tonight, but we're going into overtime. Let's get into the spicy topic. That's right. We're going to talk about, graded versus raw copies and how you guys feel about that. So I didn't have an image or anything ready for you guys, but we'll do it just the same. And here you go. So let's go with this one. Here you go. So we're looking at Marvel Spotlight number 5. CHIA, it's a topic and a conversation that most collectors tend to have. Raw versus graded. How do we feel about that? I look, my cousin is somebody, I collect slabs, as you can see behind me. I grade certain books that I like to display and preserve is what I guess we can say. But my cousin is a raw collector. He never once graded a book. In fact, he actually bought Ultimate Spider-Man 4 graded, and he cracked it. Didn't care. He bought it in, I think it was a lower grade. He cracked it just to read the book and have it. He didn't care for all the stuff related to graded books. Now, graded books in general, like I said, people are indifferent to it. Some are totally against it. Some love it. Some simply collect slabs. That's what they go for. Money always goes flying towards slabs, and that's okay. I'm going to ask you a few questions on this. First, do you have a preference? And is there a reason why you even collect slabs? Like, what sends you towards slabs?
Well, do I have a preference? The majority of my collection is raw, obviously. But I mean, I have a pretty large collection. I do like having major keys in slabs. I like it. It's preservation. I feel it's an easier way to evaluate your collection, because grading is subjective. I maintain that. So having an outside party assign a grade to your book allows it to be less biased because everybody may have skew one way for their books than the other. So I
Yeah.
think that's so. As a person who has a pretty extensive collection, I'd like to know what my collection is worth. So there's certain bigger books I'd like to have them um, independently evaluated in that way. And preservation also is a massive thing for me. I'm not smug or arrogant enough to judge another person how they want to collect. It's back to that gatekeeping thing.
Yeah.
I think way too many people in this in all kind of geek realms attempt to tell people what they should collect or not collect. Man, if you get a graded book and you're happy and you're smiling from ear to ear because your grade was good and you got a good buy on eBay and everything, and it brought you joy, good. If you found a great key that's high grade and you're happy with it and you put it in your look, man, one of my favorite books I own is NYX3. It's ungraded, high grade copy. I haven't had a chance to grade it. I'm not in a rush to grade it. It's one of my favorite books. It's one of my books that I've been one of the Wolverine keys that or Wolverine adjacent keys that I've always wanted. Yeah. So I think it's weird that people would want to
criticize
one way or the other. Yeah. Like that. I don't understand why we're even in that place now. I have one thing what I don't like is people who are trying to sell the book that's ungraded on a graded price.
That is mind-boggling, and look, I see it.
If you could sell your book for a higher price, man, you do you. But don't go. I told you, me and Alex, man, Watchmen and NYX. You know what I mean? We're tight already. We're down. So,
but CHIA, I agree with you on that. Okay, there are sellers that tend to send those bigger books that are raw at a CGC graded price for some reason. Now that's to each their own. I mean, good luck selling it because I think most people are not as naive. But I want to talk on some of the points you brought up because preservation is one of the biggest things for myself. That is really what it comes down to. And now in this day and age, like, back when I was starting to send books in, I never factored the actual cases, the casings of these things, the UV lights and this and blah, blah, blah. All of that stuff I was never really paying attention to. And now, having seen a lot of things come out of certain companies, I took a step back in 2024 from sending in my books because at the end of the day, the book inside that case is what I care most about, right? I don't care about, the labels and this and that. Sure, I mean it's a perk, it's a bonus. But example, CBCS offers custom labels. EGS does the same. CBCS not so much, but their new labels are okay. I don't have a problem with them. But besides it, like I said, the book inside is my main focus, my main priority. If I'm going to buy a slab, I can assure you I'm buying it because the deal is right and it's at the grade that I'm comfortable owning. So, example, if I could get to this Marvel Spotlight issue 5 in a 7.5, I'm more than happy. I will buy it in a slab if the deal is right because I factor, especially such a book, you want to buy it raw, you're going to send it to CGC, you're going to pay a premium on such a book, right? Especially if you're looking at bronze books, etc. Like these come at a premium price. So I would rather look at slab sales, and if I can get to a fair point where I get my guaranteed grade that I want, sold. I'm a buyer, don't care. I was at Terrificon, talking with a lot of vendors, and a lot of the vendors were telling me the same thing. They have a hard time selling slabs this year, which is ironic because, of course, during COVID, a lot of people were flocking to slabs. I myself am one of those people where in the pandemic, I did buy a few slabs here and there, nothing crazy. Of course, always if I can get a deal. If it's a deal, I'm in. I'm not going to pay premium. I'm not a FOMO buyer. But raw books, I have more comfort in purchasing. Not because they come at a cheaper price tag, but it's just I've now reached a point in my, comic collecting experience where I'm comfortable judging a book's grade in a raw condition as opposed to the just going for the slab. If I'm going for the slab, like I said, I'm going to go for it if it's coming in the grade that I'm comfortable at at a price that makes sense to me. So I'll give you a perfect example. Take, I don't know, Edge of Spider-Verse 2 in a 9.8. Right now, what's that hovering at? We'll say $800. I'm just throwing a number out there. I'm the type of guy where I'm gonna look at the book. If I come across it raw, I'm gonna try to make sure that I'm gonna get it at a deal raw, because I know it's a modern book. I'm not gonna get dinged on, the percentage fees, etc. with CGC. On modern books, I'm comfortable in that light. If I can get it at $700 and I just want my guaranteed 9.8 and I have the money for it, cool. I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? I might buy, but then again, it's a book that could still continue to come down. So I would probably hold off. Bigger books. Now, when we start talking Silver Age keys, if I want that, I don't know. Name me a Silver Age book. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Like any Silver Age book. Name me a Silver Age book.
An early FF5. First Doom.
That I would probably flock more towards the slabs, right? In that era, I would feel more comfortable doing such, because coming across that FF5 raw sometimes is harder to get. You know what I mean? In a fair grade that I would feel comfortable with. Again, that's me. That is a book I would love to display. I would want to preserve. So that's how I feel. Iron Man 55, first appearance of Thanos, I wasn't looking for a signed copy. I came across a copy signed by Starlin, and I was like, oh, okay. At this point, the book was already selling at a premium because everything happening with Thanos in the MCU. But it's a book I've always wanted in my collection. And then when I saw it signed, I think I picked it up. What is it? It's a CGC 4.0 signed by Starlin. I picked it up for like $500. I was like, cool, wow. I'm good with that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's an automatic, because a 4.0 at that point in time was going for more. So there, I will buy the slab, right?
Yeah. I think again, I'm the kind of collector, I don't have a hard and fast rule. It's what the deal says, but I do think, like you said about the older books, the Silver Age books, that's a good comment you brought up. I'll also add another thing. When it comes to buying off eBay, I often prefer buying a slab versus a raw copy off eBay.
Yeah, because the shipping scares the shit out of me.
The shipping, the reliability, again, grading is subjective, unless I've used a dealer before and I like what they bring me, I think it's, as you get pictures and the lighting, it's never the same as when you see a book. So I think when it comes to online purchases, other than new books, obviously, sometimes I lean towards the slab when it comes to, like on eBay sellers,
Yeah. But this comment is spot on, because that's what I'm trying to say is, on a modern book, I'm comfortable, right? Looking at a book, grading, judging, etc. So I would flock more to the raws. But when you're getting these big boy books, right? Yeah. I'm more comfortable, because I already factor in my head, okay, if I come across it raw, let's say I come across this Marvel Spotlight, I'm just using it as an example, issue 5 in a raw condition, I think it has potential to hit a 6.5, but I want a 7.5, right? So I'm going to spend the coin on the guaranteed thing. That's how I see things, right? If, of course, it's at a good deal. But if it's one of those scenarios where the guy's charging fucking MCU speculation prices, etc., no, I'm automatically out. I'm not interested. Now, do I prefer slabs or raws? I don't have a preference, really, because I think it varies amongst the books, right? Yeah. There's books, like you guys were saying in the chat, there's books that I prefer to have raw, and then there's books that I prefer, hey, you know what? I want to slab this. I want to preserve this. I think this is awesome. It's a wall book. I want to display it. I want to keep it in its great condition. And you know what? If ever the day comes that I want to flip it, at least I know I can. You know what I mean? In a 9.8, I want to sell it and maybe put my money towards something else. And I've done that several times. It's not, I think we've all done it at one point, right? Where you're going to sell your book to get something else. I sold my first, what was it, first appearance of Elektra to get a different book. You know what I mean? And that's,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. I loved it. I loved that book, first appearance of Elektra, but something else took precedence in my personal collection, and that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
So it really comes down to multiple things when you compare the two.
It also depends, how I think where you're buying the familiarity what you have with dealers, like when we're selling, whether it's a little bit older books or even the newer books on our sales, on Monday nights,
Yeah.
we like to tend to undergrade to make sure people don't feel that, but not everybody is that. Like, grading is subjective, right? So it's a little bit spooky when you're buying the bigger books, like Derek mentioned, when they're not graded.
Yeah.
That is, unless you're there and you're seeing it and you get a chance to see it. When we're talking about, in the thousands, it's a little bit of a scarier purchase. So I prefer when it comes to graded, to be honest.
Yeah. Guys,
Uh,
I'll give you an example of how much of a bitch I could be, and I feel bad for my LCS, but I don't care. You know what I mean? They do live claim. They do claim sales online. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Every Thursday, they do their posts. This is a $10. I'm sorry, not even a $10 book. It's Tomb Raider 1, right? So I claim this on their thing, and dude, I get to the counter. When I get to the counter, I'm pulling the book out and I'm checking front and back. Like, okay, I'm happy to spend, let's say, $10. I'm saying $10. I'm happy to spend $10 on this book if I am, looking at this and this is a 9.8. If I see this is like a, we got spine ticks in the back, color rubs, or whatever it may be. No, dude, I tell them openly, like, sorry, this is not
yeah.
what I'm looking for. If you can find one in a 9.8 contender, hit me up. But otherwise, I'm not interested. That's this particular book, a modern book. Obviously, if we're going to start talking Marvel Spotlight issue 5, well, then we're going to
Yes.
have a lower standard, right?
Of course. Yes.
So I think that's what it comes down to. I don't think there's a preference in between the two. When it comes to bigger books, even signed books, I have an abundance of signed books. Hell, I'm even giving one away tonight in just a few minutes. But I like to send these in. I like the fact that we have the JSA option now.
Yeah.
I don't care to pay for fucking CGC certified. You know what I mean? That's now that option exists, I don't care for it. I know that there's many artists doing in-house signings over at CGC where you could send it in and then it gets graded on the spot. Hell, dude, I'm comfortable getting it signed at a con for a measly $10 and send it in for the JSA label at what, $60 or whatever it costs. That's cool with me. You know what I mean? It's staying in my collection as
Yeah.
that's the type of collector I am. You know what I mean? If it's not moving from me, I don't have a problem with it. I'm not seeing much difference on the secondary market either when it comes to CGC and the yellow labels. Sure, there's still a gap.
I think you still get it's easier to sell the yellow label over the JSA. I think they're
Yes,
still there.
but it's not significant. You know what I mean? Like
No, because it's still a graded book by CGC. So
exactly. So I think on that front, I'm also comfortable. To each their own. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's a bad thing if you send it in to get signed. Like J. Scott Campbell is doing a signing at CGC. It's $180 if you want the signature. I'm just putting a number out there. I'd personally rather just buy the book. Let's say the book costs me $10. Go to a con, get it signed. Let's say he's charging, I don't know, 20 something bucks, $30, whatever it may be. Send it in. I'm cool. You know what I mean? It's not moving. It's staying here.
Yes. 100%.
Now,
especially if it's PC books.
But if you're looking for that flip, obviously you're gonna go all in, right? You're gonna send it in for such. Now I don't know. Does CGC do certain things where they favor? Hey, if you get it pressed and cleaned by us, you might have a better chance at 9.8. I don't think they've ever come out to say that, but I think some people feel that way. CHIA, what do you think?
Look, usually when I send a book in to get a signature series,
yeah,
I usually tend to get them pressed afterwards, especially if it's a bigger book, because they're handling the book. No matter how much I sent it in there, there's way too many people handling the book after I hand it off. So I've gotten pretty good results with them. Usually tend to do it, But then again, I just sent in a 25 book submission from the New York Comic Con through a for our chat, and 24 came back 9.8s, and one came back 9.6, and I didn't, and none of them had pressing. So I think, I'm not so sure. I think a lot of times with grading, and the frustration is a lot of times we think our books should be a certain thing. We send it in, they don't get the results that we thought they were, and there's a lot of frustration that forms in conspiracy. It's very much like sports, right? Oh, the ref hates us, that hates us, this and that,
Yeah.
Oh, the refs like these guys, I think, look, I've accepted usually when you're the superstar team, you get the calls, right? Brady, Mahomes, LeBron, MJ, that's that's what happens.
Yeah.
It's the same thing there. It's subjective. I think we project a little bit of our frustrations on thinking that it's a conspiracy. I don't think there's any conspiracy going on. I think it's just the luck of the draw. And sometimes the guy's having a good day, and he doesn't hit you, ding you harder on that tick than another person would.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the result. And maybe I could understand that they are more lenient on signature books in general, and they give 9.8 maybe more easier because they know that the handling is happening all the time, and they don't want to ding the person because the guy brought it in a certain way. Fine, maybe that, but I don't think that they're going to give us a better grade because we pressed it with them. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if maybe that they even have it where they know it's been pressed. They might not even know it's been pressed by the CGC.
Probably.
Or at least they'll tell us that they don't know.
Now, one of the last things I want to bring up before getting into the giveaway, I don't think there's any right way. You know what I mean? If you want to collect raw, kind of like you were saying, is it's to each their own. Or if you want to go with slabs, the only thing that always has me on the fence with getting books graded is, like you said, it's subjective, right? And that always scares me, sending to any company. I don't care which company it is to this guy, it might be a 9.4, but the guy next to him, it's a 9.6. That will always, hover in like above me and have me thinking like, is it worth sending in type thing? You send it in, you spend the money, it comes back a 9.4. You're not happy. You get it pressed and cleaned again. You send it back. It comes back a 9.8. Those are the things that kind of throw me off when it comes to the grading process. That's really the only thing that I would say.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I guess look. I sent in a book. I've sent in maybe 200 books, 300 books, 400 books with the company. There's been two times that I thought the book that I got the grade, 3, that was erroneous. One, I sent in a Perez signed book, First Vigilante. I thought it looked great. I missed, there was a little rust on the staple. They dinged me. I was outraged. I got an 8.5. Yeah. I came back. I saw it. And my brother looked at it. He's like, yeah, they got us. You didn't see that. I'm like, oh, I was wrong, And when I first saw the grade, I was freaking. There was the grade that I got with a Hulk 340. We thought it was a mint copy sent to Todd McFarlane. We found out there's a light, kind of weird thing going on in the back that we missed. That CGC spotted it. They were right. They showed it to us. They were completely right, on that part. And the other one was a Transformers 1. I sent it in. I thought we were going to get it with Armin. I thought we were going to get it. We looked at it. We're like, anywhere between 9.4 and 9.6. Came back a 9.0. I didn't like the grade. I cracked it again and resubmitted. I mean, at the end of the day, if you think your book is getting dinged, I resubmitted, got a 9.6, by the way. So if you think the grade is erroneous, you always have the option to resubmit it again.
Yeah, I mean, what a jump, the way from a 9.0 to a 9.6.
Yeah, and I think it was pressed again. I think Armin did a second press. I do know that sometimes those older books as well, they revert back. So Armin probably did a great job on the first one. We sent it in. We're like, this is gorgeous, right? There might have been a little bit of a retraction by the time they graded it, right?
Yeah.
So the second time we did it, it may be graded faster. The press took better. Who knows? The guy was having a better day. Whatever it is, But if you feel the book deserves better, you could just resubmit it at the end of the day, and it'll work. It's gonna get the grade probably you want. I mean, subjectivity is gonna be part of it forever. It's like figure skaters. It's like boxers. It's like a ticket that a cop will give you for a stop sign.
Yeah.
Hey man, I didn't stop above the line. No, you stopped above the line. The other cop will let you go with an American stop versus a Canadian stop. That's the reality of anything that is not computer based or technical based or numeric based is subjected to human people. And that's what I've accepted with grading as well.
Yep. So in theory, what we're trying to say is there's no correct way. If you're happy with raw copies, that's fine. If you're happy with graded copies, that's also fine. Clearly, you heard our preferences when it comes to certain books. The older the book, well, I tend to flock towards the slab. I'm more happy with that. Modern books, if I, come across certain books like Metal Gear Solid, I want that issue number 1. It's harder for me to find raw, high-grade copies, and I don't want to pay close to the slab price, so I'd rather just go with the slab. It all depends on certain aspects. There's many things to factor when you're purchasing either of the two, and I think you get the gist of it from what we just discussed tonight. But CHIA, it is time we give away this awesome signed copy of Gun Honey, and it is signed by Adam Hughes. So there you go, guys.
Love that signature. I know you hate it. I love it.
It's amazing. But let's get it out there. So guys, it's very simple. All I need you guys to do, I'm gonna actually write the hashtag right now. So hold on. What you need to do in the comment section to win this is write CHIA the Grinch. There you go. So CHIA the Grinch.
I'm not the Grinch of the group here. That's for sure.
You're totally the Grinch, bro. So I'm starting to collect the comments. So get them coming in, guys. There you go. CHIA the Grinch. Oh, Riggs for Hyper. No, Hyper's not here, so thank God. That's why we went a little over the regular 2-hour mark, so you guys have a better chance because Hyper's probably.
There's way too many CHIA for the Grinch hashtags, if you ask me.
I love this. This is fantastic. People are speaking truth in the chat. So you took off the Santa hat. So
it was getting a little bit too hot.
It wasn't too hot. Come on, man. You're exaggerating, bro. All right, guys. Let your friends know. We're gonna poll and do the giveaway in just a few minutes. So far, I've collected 10 entries here. CHIA the Grinch, Derek, make it 1. So hashtag CHIA the Grinch in 1 word. I'll leave it up for you guys so you can see there. It's CHIA the Grinch. CHIA, thank you, by the way, for hopping on tonight and also welcoming the hot topic at the end of the show. Unexpected.
Oh, I love coming on.
Yeah.
I get to educate the uneducated masses.
Are you talking about me again, sir?
That's right.
How dare you? How dare you?
And that's exactly what I'm talking about.
But the best part about running so late, because this is the longest show I've ever had in 74 episodes, so no surprises.
Longer than last week?
Yeah, dude. Much longer.
Really?
Yeah, I think last week was like 2 hours and something. Hold on. It was 2 hours and 33 minutes. You just surpassed it, so congratulations.
Well, I didn't want to do the extra topic. You did. You forced this on me.
No. We did this for the awesome people who came to hang out with us tonight. That's exactly what happened. Alex is saying that you guys need to have a discussion about Knicks 3. So
yes, anytime, Alex.
Yeah, 3 hours, bro. Get back to work. Yeah, you're late, dude. You need to get back.
Yeah, well, let's keep up. That's it. CHIA the Grinch. Let's cut it out now.
There you go. CHIA the Grinch. It's the Spidey shirt, BC. Yeah, no. So it goes beyond Spidey. There's Cap. You got Iron Man. You got Hulk.
Good shirt.
Yeah, it's a T-shirt, dude. I have an actual Christmas sweater, but I'm saving it for Christmas Eve. So there you go. Derek saying A, longest show of all time. B, CHIA is the guest. Coincidence?
All right. You guys are funny guys.
No coincidence at all. But all right, guys. We got the hashtags in. I'm going to share the screen and do the draw in just a second. So let me set that up for you. We have a total of 14 entries, so not too bad. I appreciate you guys all rocking. I'm surprised though, 14 entries, you guys. There's 35 in the chat. Get those hashtags in, because I'm drawing this in about 5 seconds. So hold on, share the screen, giveaway tool. Here we go, guys. All right, Chia the Grinch. Let's see who wins this awesome Gun
This
Honey
is
#1, signed by Adam Hughes. So counting it down, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Chia, you want to do a drum roll, beatbox, anything?
I don't know. I can't do that. I don't know.
That was a horrible one. David Mason, congratulations.
All right, congratulations.
David,
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, David.
there you go, guys. So congratulations to David Mason. Hold on. We gotta do this for old time's sake, man. Old time's sake. Congrats, David Mason. Here you go. You ready?
$2 you win, Ali.
There you go. So congratulations. Like I said, Canada Post has been on strike, so they're a bit behind. It's a bit of a shit show. So I'm gonna ship this out immediately after the holiday season. I'm gonna be back in town January 3rd. I'll still go live next Sunday. Covrprice, we're away for 2 weeks. We're actually going to be going live January 2nd. So that's when we return. So in the first week of January, I'll have this shipped out to you, David. So David Mason, please hit me up on Instagram. DM me your address and I will get that out to you, man. So congratulations, guys.
Congrats, David.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays. Enjoy the beautiful week ahead of us. Spend time with your family. Chia, you unfortunately don't have much of a choice because you do everything with your brother. So there's that.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time together, and I enjoy it. So yeah, but everybody have a great Christmas, great holiday season. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all the best to you and yours.
Yeah.
Just health and happiness in the coming new year as well. And then keep enjoying this great hobby we have. It's awesome.
There you go. And guys, if you're in Canada, please support Chia Pets. Go visit comiclegion.ca if you're in Canada, and if you're in the United States, you also have comicnation.us. So
you should go visit watch our claim show tomorrow night. It should be a good one. Should be a good one. Maybe a little bit of Christmas fun as well tomorrow on our claim show.
Exactly. Comic Legion goes live every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. You guys can claim some awesome books from the live sale. So go check it out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. All you got to write is Comic Legion. There you go. And then hit subscribe, hit the bell, and be alerted every time they go live. Have yourselves a great week, guys. Enjoy Christmas. Enjoy the holidays. Spend it with your loved ones. And I will see you next Sunday with a new guest, not Chia. Bye, guys.
Unfortunately for all of you.
Oh, yeah.